All right, we are live. All right, we are live. What's up, everybody? New camera angle for the podcast. Nice to have you guys. Yep, music was too loud. I saw that. I fixed it. Sorry about that, Ho-chan. This is the same side of my face, actually, that you would see normally, because my camera would usually be, like, here, so it would be seeing the same side of my face. So you know what, Cookie? Don't like you. It's a Boomcast. Welcome, everybody. Let's see. Let's just warm up here. Give me some time to say my hellos. Kind of wanted to have, like, a black bar above me where the donations can, like, float up there. But, like, I don't know. We're figuring this out. Like, I haven't done a podcast in a while. Is this to do with what happened at Twitter Boom? Oh, no. I planned this last night. I just didn't know I was going to do it until later. I didn't want to say I was going to do it if I couldn't. So, I'm glad I waited, but unfortunately, I'd love to, like, change the color of this light here. But, like, oh, I can. Okay. There we go. I wanted that to be kind of animated. That's fun. Alright, I just turned on my music here. Okay. Okay, you're a little confused as to what's going on? Nothing's going on. We're just doing a podcast. Shall this be a series? It technically already has been a series on the channel, but I've been a naughty boy and I haven't been keeping up with it. So. What's up, guys? Okay. Please take my free time so I can finish my story quicker. Will do. So, guys, we have some things. I was going to write down notes for this podcast, but unfortunately, I was unable to do so before I wanted to go live. So I did not have the chance to do that. So I am very sorry. Could be a browser source I can grab here. I kind of want my viewers. Yeah, let's see if we can grab viewers. Yeah, okay, we have 27 viewers. I'll put this down in the corner. Okay, so dude, I've been seeing the KOK thing, and I have no idea what it is. I don't know if it's a racial slur, so I'm gonna be careful as to whether or not I answer it. But I really like the setup. I'm very comfortable here. I can just sort of lean against my table. We will be doing, that's actually a really important thing I need to do real fast. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, sorry, let's get that off screen. We will be doing a Manscaped ad read today, but that'll be later off along in the podcast. Very official here on One Boom. Even with our, you know, we don't have like 100,000 people watching or anything, but we got ad reads on my podcast, so very cool. Hello, Jake, what's up? Oh, man. So we already have some people talking about console wars, so we're going to be talking about console wars, internet discourse, and Treyarch. Because, as you guys know, I uploaded a video about my what would you call them? My feelings towards Black Ops 3, and I kind of like shot around over the bow of Treyarch, and I don't want to like argue. I don't want to be like, okay, you know, you're all stupid for liking Treyarch games or anything like that. But I do need to talk about them. I do think that I think Treyarch has a bit to answer for. And I don't think it's fair to, like... I'm actually going to close down Spotify because that music is not conducive to talking. I'm I'm actually going to open up this stuff. I'm going to go. Playlist. Here we go. All right, got some Lakey inspired. All right, cool. So we're just going to let the chat sort of fill up here. So we're going to talk about Treyarch. We're going to talk about console wars. Either way, I do think Treyarch failed the 8th generation of consoles. I think that goes almost without saying, but there's still people that think that I'm wrong. That's fine. You can think that. I think I'm 100% right. But who knows? We're going to have a green light behind me, because that'll make people that come in here that are PlayStation fans get nice and salty. You did not miss anything. We haven't started yet. I'm just sort of warming up the conversation here. Right? You're absolutely correct about that. Okay. So, what? I guess because... How's your day been? Because I want to play Smash earlier today. I really hope I didn't demotivate him. Well, you are kind of a sweaty bitch when it comes to Smash, Jake, but whatever. So I think we'll talk about Treyarch first. I think we'll get to console wars in a bit. I think a lot of people want to hear me talk about that because you guys already know a lot of my Treyarch opinions. But I think I'm going to kind of make you guys wait for my console opinions because those are a little bit fresher for some of you because I haven't talked about it a lot. So, I don't know. PlayStation fans are salty. Like, okay, a little sneak peek on my console war opinions. Again, I didn't get to write notes for this. I'm very sorry. Next time I will. I had my pen here and everything, but I just didn't have time to fucking do it. So, I will say that, I will say I've seen worse from PlayStation fans, especially recently. I've been following PlayStation and Xbox Twitter pages and, following the Discourse. It's pretty bad on both ends. But PlayStation definitely tops it out. And they have reasons to be excited about their product. Don't get me wrong. It's just that, a lot of them, if they don't mean to be assholes, then someone needs to tell them that they are. But it's fine. We'll talk about consoles and PCs later. Let's talk about Treyarch. So, you guys know, I did my Black Ops 3 video. See, that was supposed to be, of course I'm doing the retrospective series, which is fun because the retrospective series is essentially an opportunity for me to take a break from my content without taking a break from YouTube. It's actually really cool being able to continue to talk about Call of Duty and all that goodness, but without this concept that I need to be relevant is sort of, it was stressing me out, frankly. I thought that well, what do I need to upload? What do I need to upload? What do I need to upload? Now I'm just sort of whatever I want, I think's the answer. So it's gonna be fun. So when I've been playing all these games. I've been playing Call of Duty. I played Ghosts, Advanced Warfare, and Black Ops 3. And I'm playing these games by myself for a really good reason. Because I can have more or less fun, and it influences my opinion of a game when I play it with friends. And if I'm being realistic with you guys, one of the big reasons I've enjoyed Modern Warfare, all life cycle, is because it is just so much more fun to play with friends than some other COD games. Because the maps are more complicated and things, it really helps to have somebody to call out to and talk to. Hi, Gamer with Bathwater, nice to have you. So I'm just gonna fully admit that a lot of my opinions about Modern Warfare they're a little bit manipulated. That's why I bring up that I play with my friends a lot to sort of put that out there, because that will affect your perspective. I've had people tell me that certain games that I don't like are really fun with your friends. It's most games, kind of a hot take, most games are fun with your friends. Even shitty games can be fun with your friends. Being fun with friends does not make the game good. So sometimes it's interesting when a game is only good with friends, but Call of Duty is something definitely more fun when you have a team of people you can rely on and talk to and compete with, and chat with and take your mind off the game. It's when you're playing solo that your mind focuses in on things and you're able to be a bit more critical. And so going to Call of Duty Ghosts, let's just start from Ghosts here. We'll just do a little touch up here. Going back to Ghosts, I was disappointed as to how drab and boring that game is to play. It's not boring in terms of gameplay variety, which is you'd think that'd be the end all be all, because I'm such a big proponent of like gameplay variety. It's like my big buzzword on the channel is gameplay variety and map variety. Like that's my big buzzword, right? But actually no, that it doesn't keep the game from feeling incredibly dull when it just looks like shit. Like Call of Duty Ghosts is not a great looking game, and I think we all know this. But it's not just not good looking graphically. Art-wise, it's just hard to look at. And the aesthetic, like killing somebody has boring white text on the screen. I talked about this all in the retrospectives. It's basically the most drab Call of Duty ever. And it's pretty, it bothered me. Going to Advanced Warfare, I was so flummoxed. Is that the word? Frustrated, flustered by Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare's everything, from its FOV, its movement, its graphic. I mean, its graphics are good, but there's some things I definitely took for granted. But again, you know, if not looking at graphics because of time, like I guess I'll leave that out of the equation. Just the act of like running around and shooting people felt horrible. I did not enjoy that at all. And it's funny because when Advanced Warfare came out, I thought it was my inability to adjust to Xbox controllers, like the Xbox One controller from the 360 controller. I thought that's why I was doing poorly. I think it's if you go from any really intuitive snappy shooter to Advanced Warfare, it feels like floaty garbage. So, fuck. Black Ops 3. Black Ops does not deserve, I think this is fair to say, Black Ops 3 does not deserve a good retrospective. It does not deserve positivity. And I'm going to lay out the reasons why. I was going to write these down. This is going to be messier than I'd like it to be. I'm very sorry. But Black Ops 3 is one of the most disappointing products, and we haven't even gotten to Black Ops 4 yet. Black Ops 3 is one of the most disappointing products I've ever purchased. Because it's a sheep in wolf's clothing. No, it's a wolf in... No, yeah, sheep in wolf's clothing. No, right? No, it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. I'm a retard. Okay, it looks so innocent, and you look like an inch deeper than the product. Because when I was thinking about Black Ops 3 retroactively, and I was thinking about... When I was thinking about, you know, running and gunning, shooting people, I just remember the game being fun. And I was happy when I loaded up the game. I was happy to see that it is, like, sorry, I'm gonna move my mic. I was happy to see that it is actually fun. Like, that was a big deal for me. To see that Black Ops 3 was actually still fun to, like, wall run and jump off of shit and shoot people. You know what? It felt 100 times better than Advanced Warfare. Very snappy. Oh my god. The rest of my experience started to go downhill the moment I loaded up the game. Looked in my create a class. And saw that I basically had... How many weapons are in... Can one of you guys that don't value your time, can you look up for me? I should be able to do this, but my monitors are all taken up with shit. How many weapons are in World at War? I guess I could look this up. Let's see. How many guns in World at War? World at War. I'm not counting those. I can't count. How many guns are there? How, 35 in Modern Warfare. Guns are in World at War. Black Ops 3 has 31. I think World at War has, okay, I think World at War has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then I think it's about 27, like it's about 27 guns. Well, I'm missing, like, I think 16. So like 30, there's 30 guns in World at War? Thank you. I am missing, like, more than half of that in Black Ops 3. And I am not a noob. I am level 280 some bullshit. I have opened many a supply drop. I even bought some back when like people like really weren't adjusted to how shitty those systems were. I actually ended up buying some. That's crazy to me that I did that. But worse than that, like I got dark matter. So like leveling aside, I got dark matter. That takes a while. Even in Black Ops 3, which isn't the hardest game to do it in by any means. Even in that respect. I think I'm missing 20 guns. Like 20 individual weapons, not including melee weapons. That's crazy. I do have 2 mics on one headset. Somebody notices it every stream and they're like, yo, what the fuck? So there's the first glaring issue. When you can play a AAA game that I spent $60 on of my own money, when you can play that, when you can fucking play that for that many hours, for that many months, and not even have half the weapons, fuck, that's incredible. It really bugs me. Because how do you, when you're talking about the game's multiplayer, how do you talk about it in a positive light when that happens? Yeah, I have two microphones. Yep, I know. I look like Ant-Man. It's great. It's the first thing my girlfriend said when she saw me. She stumbled into my room, caught me red-handed, 2 mics on my face. So I got these. I can't believe that like. To this day, there are people that defend that game. So that's already a problem. That's just the weapons. Oh, we have so much more to talk about. Let's talk about the bugs. Black Ops 3 is so... No, Primitive Monkey. Black Ops 3, right, has so many bugs that persisted since the beta. Okay, that game has been out for 5 years now. It's maintained a pretty fun amount of players. I was gonna say fair, but fun came out. A pretty fair amount of players. So it has a fair amount of players that came out 5 years ago. It still has the same bugs. Like lobby joining issues, game crashes on Xbox. I don't understand why anybody wants to support that. Drifter, I remember saying, like, the frame rate just got worse over time. Yes, and he's right. The performance got worse. Texture loading and screen tearing are still issues in the game. How does a Call of Duty game that prides itself on, like, Call of Duty is the 60 FPS snappy console shooter. You can play it on PC if you want. I don't give a shit. It's designed to be one of the snappiest, most intuitive things that you can play with 2 thumbs on a controller. That's what it's supposed to be. Listen. How are frame rate drops? And again, and this is not like a console issue. Even when they upgraded to like the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X, they still have the same issues. Okay, they still have the same issues. A game running at 900p should not be having frame rate drops on an Xbox One X. Okay, no. Screen tearing should not be happening, but it does. It happens all the time. And then textures just can't load in. And the weird, crazy thing about that happens on PC. Okay, my buddy who played the game like religiously on PC blew my mind when he told me that. I figured it was a console issue because consoles are weaker. I'm holding a tissue I used to clean my glasses. That probably looks gross. Anyway, that alone, like, it's the only when I think of Call of Duty games, I don't think of like screen tearing, frame rate issues, and bad textures, except with Black Ops 3. Which case, I guess it's acceptable. So we have the worst microtransaction system we had ever seen in a COD game. The worst, most anti-consumer microtransaction scheme we'd ever seen. And the reason it's not worse than Advanced Warfare is because Advanced Warfare had a much comparably smaller loot pool than Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3's loot pool is so saturated that you just can't get anything. You can't get what you want. If you didn't hear, Black Ops 3 is going to be free with Zombie Chronicles on PS Plus, and on PS5 the game is getting enhanced. If they enhance Black Ops 3, because that means they'll do it on Xbox as well, because that's what happened with Infinite Warfare. You got enhanced for PS4 Pro and then got enhanced for One X later. So that'd be cool. I mean, Black Ops 3 getting enhanced could be like completely negate these visual bugs I'm talking about. It won't change the fact that the game is literally a time-based slot machine. Now, it's not gambling. We need to lay this out here, like, right now. Black Ops 3 is not gambling. Do not compare it to going to Vegas and dropping money into a slot machine. It's not that. It's just got this incredibly shitty loot pool that it wants you to fish your hand in for weapons. You're gambling your time. And yeah, you're gambling in the sense that you might not get what you want, but you're always getting something because that's how blind loot pools work. But it's just how that works. Bad Rice. What's up, Jason? So, when... you can cuss, yeah. There's nothing more appalling to me than these systems when it comes to the 8th generation of Call of Duty. When I think of the 8th generation of Call of Duty being disappointing, I think of Black Ops 3. At least, I'm going to give Black Ops 4 I'm going to beat the shit out of it verbally. But at least in Black Ops 4, at least it technically looks and runs better. Okay? Like, it just runs better. I have Black Ops 3. I have Black Ops 3 and 4 on both PC and Xbox. And Black Ops 4 runs better. So we get into gameplay, and gameplay is definitely subjective, but there's an objective part to this. So the first thing we gotta set up here. Now, I should be writing down to keep like some shit in my head while I do this. God, these are my composition books from when I was like 10 or younger. I need to get new composition books. Yeah, a new composition book would serve me greatly. Oh my god. Practicing my handwriting last year because well, my handwriting sucks because of the internet. Like, I'm already not like a great writer. It just sucks when I go to sign my name and I look like a 6-year-old. I'm like, okay, probably should. I tried fixing that. Self-improvement's important. So, but anyway, here. So, like, it's definitely not an objective statement to say that Black Ops 3's multiplayer plays like shit. Not objective. You could like it or not. I actually personally like it. Running around and shooting people is great. But every map has the same exact layout. It has the same exact problem. You have the clear, sort of, could be curvy, wall-runny lane. You have a building at the end. And these are like the buildings. And then you have the other lane, which has stunted, usually a W-shaped layout for cover. And it's kind of embarrassing when you notice that every map pretty much runs this way. So if you go to Black Ops 3 right now, if you can, load up Combine, and look at its map design. Oh god, my drawing sucks. I was about to show it to you guys. I guess I will anyway. So this is every map in Black Ops 3. You have the wall-running lane, the two symmetrical buildings that can fire at each other, and then you have this like W-shaped lane that has usually something in the middle that blocks the line of sight. Wow. That's some serious artistry I've performed there, but I just had to like visualize it in my head so I could like think of it. Well, of course, Black Ops 3 in profile picture. Black Ops 3 does play better in a lot of ways, but it only plays one way. So I think it was who was here? It was one of my longtime. It was Josh the Sniper. It was Josh the Sniper. He's a longtime subscriber, great dude in the chat. He said that the map design fit the style of the game. I fully agree, and I hope you like that style. Because every single map will follow that formula, with very few exceptions. So your multiplayer experience begins feeling very repetitive. What's up, Nemsk? It helps. It helps with the ladies. So basically, there's nothing wrong with that layout. The wall-running lane, the W-shaped zigzaggy lane, and the two very predictable sniper lanes. Sniper mid lane. And then they usually intersect in the middle. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. It's just that that's all the game does. And when it breaks that habit, it's refreshing. Hunted. Hunted's a refreshing map because it breaks that. It breaks that. It breaks that up. So it's subjective to say that that's bad. It's subjective to say that that's pretty much all you're getting. Especially now that people really aren't in the multiplayer DLCs. Like, people that install DLCs for Black Ops 3 are likely installing them for zombies. So they're not on multiplayer, you know? So we gotta talk about DLC maps, talk about it somewhere else, because they're not playable right now. You know, I would like to say that some of them played better, and I think some of them did. But roughly, that issue persisted after launch. So again, to recap, subjectively, the design is repetitive, and that's bad. So maybe you like that it's repetitive. But objectively, it is repetitive. It's a one-trick pony. And it's so sad, because we have this, like, so it was the first time we had seen, like, wall running in COD, and thrust jumping, and the power, and, like, the directional power slide. They gave us all these new mechanics we had never seen before, and they put those mechanics in the most basic bitch map layout ever. And I don't know why. I don't know why they were scared. Black Ops 2 has a couple of these very symmetrical, sort of rectangular maps, like, you got, like, Hijacked to different sizes. It'd be like Nuketown, Hijacked, Meltdown, and Express is also a very symmetrical map. Hey, it's me, Poise Killer. Damn. What's with this sexy angle? Sorry I'm late. Don't worry about it, man. Thank you for the donation, dude. I appreciate you. Oh, first donation of the stream. We're gonna wake up Hypnotoad, guys. Okay. Thank you so much. And the sexy angle is for the podcast. I think this is a more podcasty angle. Probably in the future. I might even do it now. Probably in the future. Hey, there's Hypnotoad. Thank you so much for donating, man. Totally appreciate you. Wow, Wubsy profile picture? Hot. Black Ops 3. So why are we talking about Black Ops 3 again? Are we trying to get a refund? Like, I know it... Oh, yeah. Well, it's a retrospective. That's how retrospectives work. You look back on things, and then you hopefully learn from them. If not, then there's no point in doing it. So, yeah, so I think I might have like some like splash screen up here. Like some like YouTube screen, like for the future of the podcast. Like maybe I'll just have like my games here. I don't know, it looks a little tacky, but like I kind of like it. I might create a new preset that's a bit darker or something. I think that could be fun. So then like you guys can have something to look at back there, so it's not just black. Something like that. I don't know. We'll see. I turn the brightness all the way down, it'll actually should look considerably better. Yeah, there we go. So anyway, why do you have Spotify on your Xbox? Because you can listen to music. I mean, I don't use it all the time, but I might actually... It's difficult to talk about Black Ops 3 because, again, like, people have such a fandom for it. And I'd never really understood the fandom, like, around it. Now, again, people always get mad because zombies players have, like, no confidence in their game mode because they kind of know they're running in circles and running around from I think they know they're being chased by AI constantly, and so they don't really want to talk about... They get nervous. I feel like they're a little bit... They don't have confidence in the mode that they prefer. Yeah, I put the light mode on for some contrast behind me. I just need a little bit of contrast so that like you guys, so I'm not just like blending into the void. Also, light mode's fine during the day usually. So like, I feel like people are really... Zombies isn't a art form, you have to understand. Okay, kid. But sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful. It's just that like no. But I do think Zombies is well handled in Black Ops 3. I actually been enjoying playing it. It's a fun romp. So, when it comes down to it, everyone brings up Zombies. Zombies is not part of the equation. And when I'm arguing with people, it's never like... I'll be like, Black Ops 3's multiplayer is dog shit. And someone's like, what about Zombies? Doesn't matter. Black Ops 3... People buy Call of Duty for multiplayer. It's a minority of people that buy it for Zombies. I think everybody tries Zombies and plays it to some degree or another. I hit my mic, my secondary mic. But no, I'm sorry. Most people are buying it for multiplayer. That's just a fact. Okay, that is just a fact. So when I talk about it, people get very upset. They say it's the best game. It's the greatest of all time. That hurts. Because Black Ops 3 doesn't earn their praise, yet they're giving it to it. And I guess that's so hard to watch over the last 5 years. And even when Black Ops 4 came out. So let's talk about Black Ops 4. I'll be doing a retrospective on Black Ops 4. I'm going to be revisiting it. Even after Black Ops 4 blatantly just manipulated the player base, and most people did not like that. I didn't see a lot of defense of Black Ops 4 after they pulled their shit with putting weapons in reserves. You know, the lack of content at launch, the remade maps being sort of bundled in as, like, the base maps. The lack of content and the lack of campaign, I saw a lot of people criticizing it. But there's still, like, this little echo of this, like, Treyarch can do no wrong. Treyarch makes Call of Duty games that are classic, they're fast-paced, and so they're good. Like, first of all, they're not classic. Okay, Treyarch has not released a classic Call of Duty since 2012. Let's not fuck around here. Treyarch has not done something traditional COD since Black Ops 2. I'm sorry, when you add wall running and thruster jumping and specialists into multiplayer, and you condense the map, you condense more than half, like 90% of the maps to the same exact formula. How is that classic COD? Is it fast-paced? Does it reek of Call of Duty? Oh yeah, it's Call of Duty. But let's not pretend. Let's not fucking pretend that that's classic Call of Duty. And if you want to justify it by, like, our resident Black Ops 3 fan here, love you, dude. Okay, it's just Black Ops 2 with bigger jumps. Those bigger jumps are a massive difference, okay? I love that says Jake's inferior gaming skill. Going across the screen this way. Fun. Anyway. So, how is that classic? No, when you add jumping, you change gunfights. The nature of gunfights changes. Back paddles on the back of controllers becomes very, very important. So, no. No. So, that is not like a small thing. Oh, it's Black Ops 2, but you can jump higher. No. It's still Call of Duty, but it's not a classic Call of Duty. It's not like that traditional COD style. It throws a lot of things on its head. In Call of Duty, there was a sense of guaranteedness when you caught somebody off guard and started shooting them. That left with the introduction of some bullshit. Back with Modern Warfare 3, we had ballistic armor. Or ballistic vests. Where you'd round the corner and you'd see 3 people, right? You kill one, you start shooting the second one, and you get that awful ballistic vest hit marker. You're gonna lose that engagement, and you have to just accept it. Call of Duty Ghosts built in a better counter for ballistic vests, but they still included support streak ballistic vests. Frustrating, because you round a corner, and that guaranteed snappy kill thing was gone. They basically brought back Juggernaut as a support streak. This is not a digression. This is important. So when it comes down to it, you have these people that don't realize just how drastic it is to round a corner, see 3 people, and you start shooting them, and they don't turn and start shooting back. They do this. Boom. They jump 3 different directions. You're screwed. You either miss out on the kills or you get killed yourself. And I'm talking about evenly matched players. Obviously, if you fight people with no thumbs like what I was doing on my last live stream, it's a lot of fun because they don't utilize the movement properly. Even me, I wasn't utilizing it properly, but holy shit. Like, it was still so nice to fight bad players, because good players in these games, like I saw them in Advanced Warfare, the moment they get shot, they boink, and they bounce. So so every time you go to shoot somebody, I was a huge fan of the Advanced Movement COD games. I'm not saying Advanced Movement sucks. I'm saying that's a big change. It's a big difference. That's what I'm saying. So put this in context. I'm saying that's a big change. It's not a small deal. That is not a small deal at all. That is a big, significant change. So then Black Ops 4 comes out. They increase the health. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. When Black Ops 4 comes out, we have specialist abilities and weapons. We have no campaign. We have a battle royale instead. We have 150 health. The time to kill has been increased. We have anti-Call of Duty like mechanics, like the ice pick, which is the ability to hack your enemy score streaks from a safe corner of the map. You have armor, and this is where things start to fall apart. How is Treyarch delivering a more Call of Duty-like experience? It's like people are so fixated on the pace. They decided back during Black Ops 2 Call of Duty Ghosts, because Call of Duty Ghosts let people realize how much they prefer the pace of Black Ops 2. That's totally fair. Sometimes I do. I kind of prefer both at different days. So I get that. But it's more than the pace, kids. Like, I don't know why we're like patting Treyarch on the back like, you know what, you might not be good, but at least you bring a Call of Duty-like experience. No, they don't. No, they don't. They've been breaking things that don't need fix. Like, they've been fixing things that... They've been breaking and fixing things that don't need to be broken or fixed. Like, I have no idea why they do that. I don't know why... There's so... I get maybe, like, with Black Ops 3, it was around the time where people wanted new from Call of Duty. They wanted something... They wanted Call of Duty to stop playing second fiddle to other shooters. They wanted Call of Duty to be less of the same shit, different hat day. Hi, Nolan. And then we have Cold War, and yeah, like the score streak system in Cold War, the zero flinch, increased headshot multiplier, longer time to kill, the score streak's not resetting when you die. Here we are back again with Treyarch breaking things that don't need to be broken and fixing things that don't need to be fixed. I don't know why we're accepting that. I don't think any of us should be okay with this, because it's like the idea that Call of Duty, when it just needs to be reinvented. I don't think it does. Because at a certain point, it stops feeling like Call of Duty. Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, adding something that's anti-consider. Yeah, we love Treyarch. Meanwhile, IW and MW 2019 trying to be more consumer friendly. Worst game ever. Exactly. That's a big problem. Thank you so much, Dalbert Tran. I really appreciate you, man. I do have, because this is a talking stream, Hypnotoad's kind of quiet. I have not seen your video about score streaks. I look forward to watching that, Jason. I'm not saying Call of Duty shouldn't innovate. Call of Duty should innovate softly. Thank you so much for the $5, Dalbert. I did want to focus on that. I just want to finish my thought here. But I actually don't mind operator mods too much, because like operator mods is like one of those things that's like a conversion kit. It's a subtle thing. There are certain things like what kills me. Call of Duty doesn't need much. They could have introduced they do these drastic shifts. Like, okay, you can have a different time to kill than every other Call of Duty, but don't fuck with streaks. Oh, you're fucking with streaks. Cool. Okay, you can have these little charge up abilities like Dead Silence, or you have a trophy system similar to, like, you know, the field upgrades. But you don't need to completely rework the minimap, Modern Warfare. But I have to say, like, Infinity Ward did some things that were unnecessary throughout Modern Warfare. Like, I'll be the first to say that. Like, I'm not a defender of Modern Warfare unless it deserves it. Say I would do the same for any Call of Duty game. Like, let's be real here. I do. But I don't understand how the Call of Duty community got to the point where they looked at Treyarch and they decided that they were the bringers of the right. Exactly, Dalbert. A fast-paced COD game does not equal the fun experience for everyone. You can't just speed up Call of Duty. There are certain things in Call of Duty that were very, very important to its design. Snappy, quick time to kill was a big one. Okay? Then also the ability to every life you have the potential to rain hell or lose it all, made for a fun kind of gamble. The dollar for a dot meme. You see, like, David Cooper, thank you for the $5. That brings up a good topic. I think people got irritated with the wrong things with these games. Their microtransaction system was so laughably bad and so anti-consumer. People got so fixated on that, and they have every right to be fixated on that. They have absolutely every right to be fixated on that because it is bad. But I don't think that was the main issue. I think the issue was the gameplay. I think the gameplay took such a shift from what Call of Duty used to be. I'm going to turn this a little bit so that the alert thing can come in a little bit cleaner without sitting on my face. As much as I'd love Hypnotoad to sit on my face. But you know what I'm saying, though. So I want to ask you guys. I want to be hearing you guys out here. Why other than the pace, if you can think of something, because I'm trying to broaden my vocabulary. I learn things from you guys in the chat. I learn things from you guys sometimes. I usually know everything, but sometimes I learn something from you guys. But no, seriously. Why do you think people associate Treyarch with, like, classic quality Call of Duty? SB Poise Killer, I totally understand, but thank you for the $5. Modern Warfare is a stack of broken promises to me. It's like it feels like I voted for the wrong person whenever I play Modern Warfare. Thank you so much for the $5, dude. I really appreciate you guys' support. I much prefer the games to be fast-paced. Okay, that's fine. So, fast-paced games are good. I think variety is better than the speed. I think when you have variety, everybody can have fun, and everyone can play differently and enjoy themselves in different ways. I think when you have speed, you sort of condense the playstyles. Nostalgia. I think nostalgia is a big part of it. I think like that people associate with like they see Treyarch and they just automatically associate it with like they think, okay, well this is the makers of Black Ops 1. This is the like look at this. See what I have on my on my wall here. A big reason I like Call of Duty Modern Warfare is because it kind of reminds me of Ghosts and Modern Warfare 2. So there, nostalgia is going to be a part of it. But the thing is like you can be as nostalgic as you want. You know that Black Ops 3 has nothing to do with Black Ops 1 and 2. From a design standpoint, it just has nothing to do. It does not follow the same design principles. The campaign is completely detached. So yeah, I like playing shooters that aren't on cocaine. I agree with that, ATG. I like a game that like gives you options. So if you want like fast paced or slow paced, I think variety's good. Nostalgia, stubborn and counterculture, maybe. I think it's counterculture to say like you don't like Treyarch at this point. Yeah, that's the thing. Jetpack kids are growing up. They want the futuristic games back. That's probably true. And nostalgia caters to the competitive community. Now that might be a big one. I think Treyarch does do a better job with competitive stuff because their games are more centered around competitive stuff. They're not really centered around the more casual, varied nature of what COD usually is supposed to be, in my opinion. Because World War II was rough at launch, people hated on IW because of advanced movement. People flocked to Treyarch because of nostalgia. That's true, but like people still look back like at the time like when COD World War II came out, people were still like sucking Black Ops 3's dick, to be frank. So maybe, but World War II was a bit of a boring flop, so maybe people wanted something new. Just found out Cold War is going to take around 250 gigabytes of storage at least. If you're doing no, not at least. No, that's not true. It's not at least. That is wrong. That's if you're like doing like ray tracing textures and stuff. Care about replayability. Most of all, challenges are better than everything else. Lots of COD games have challenges. Variety is good, but not when at the expense of quality. That's subjective, but okay. Sometimes that happens. I want diversity in my map design, but only if those maps are designed well. Yeah, I guess so. I think maps are, you know, I don't know. I've always been the kind of guy that thinks that like every map has a place. You can like a map for one reason or the next. So okay, but fair enough. Oh shit, that'd be so good for this. It'd be so good for this. Well, please be the right one. Yeah! How you guys like that? Dude, you guys are watching behind the scenes. We'll go to Console Wars soon here. That's why we're just doing like a sort of a question area right now. Modern Warfare 2019 broke so many promises. It's because it's trying too hard to appeal to everyone. Forgot night mode. Yeah, they were really very scared that people would stop grinding it. They associate... the name associated, they say Black Ops and buy into it. They think of Black Ops 1 and 2. Zombies, though, yeah, that's true, but I don't think... I'm talking about multiplayer. Pro players like Treyarch games, that's true. Don't know why you can say Modern Warfare is slow. I run around those maps with speed, with knives and stuff. Yeah, people play Modern Warfare very quickly. Mostly depends on game mode and lobby. People think Treyarch is the best because they made Zombies, a good campaign, and some good multiplayer in Black Ops 2. Yeah, I think people do. Okay, so name association. A lot of you saying like nostalgia, name association. Okay, that's fair. Black Ops, I am young and I have no nostalgia other than seeing the bus zombies map. Can somebody tell me what that was? That was Transit, Diego. Black Ops 2 changed how COD was perceived, especially with Ghost following up. Naturally, higher kills, faster paced gameplay is what people will want in the longer series goes on. Yeah, I guess like the thing is Black Ops 2 wasn't always fast though. Like Black Ops 2 had maps like Yemen, Turbine, and Drone. Even Plaza could play kind of slowly sometimes. I'm sort of reading old messages at the moment here. Let's see. I definitely agree that Modern Warfare 2019 is a lot of broken promises. My big problem I have with it. Yep, fair enough. Go stream Black Ops 2 Zombies in Discord server. Anyone wants to chill? Okay. Movement, if you ever see Marksman in Black Ops 3 gameplay, you'd see what I mean. Okay. The gunsmith would be absolutely amazing. People just use the same guns without any attachments. Waste of potential. That's true. Okay, I'm just gonna scroll down. Black Ops 3 is the one that gets the most positivity when he doesn't deserve it. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, my biggest issue with Modern Warfare, other than spawns, is the mechanics are very fluid and encourage speed, while the map design punishes speed. It's not really the map design. You're onto something, but you're a little off. The map design is similar to like Modern Warfare 2's map design, which really people didn't have too much trouble being fast. It's the minimap and dead silence. That's really what you're seeing. People can run a ghost perk that makes them completely invisible even when holding still. They have suppressors that increase their range, and then they have these buildings they can lock down. There's too many things in their favor. They can put they can put 2 claymores down. You know, so okay, just that's sort of like, I think that's the issue more. I don't think it's the map design. I think it's the mechanics that surround it. And then you combine it with the map design, and I think that's a little disappointing. Okay. Do you think hardcore Overwatch fans like Black Ops 4? I do think some Overwatch fans had to like Black Ops 4. Yes, I have seen the Xbox Series X fridge. I think it's very cool. I'd rather have a map work with 2 or so gun classes really well than all of them horribly. Well, yeah, I mean, that would be awful if all of them worked horribly. I actually like Prestige mode. I think the only games I Prestige a bunch were Treyarch games. That might be why I prefer them for the most part. Fair enough. The base content was expansive. The DLC was a big problem. Okay. Modern Warfare HP should have been 150 HP. No, I don't think so. Even though Treyarch isn't the best COD dev studio, people see their name and they think about, okay. Yeah, I Modern Warfare never feels like a chore to me. I mean, if I'm having to get footage, then it kind of can. But for the most part, with Modern Warfare, where I get my frustration is just sort of like, just the general like laziness I feel like they sort of did with the post-launch. From 1 to 10, what would you rate Modern Warfare 2019? I'd give it a 6 or 7. Above average, but not good. Not like great. It's not a great game. I think as an entire product, it's not bad. Because you buy it, you get, obviously you get like the campaign, you get some other bullshit, you get multiplayer. It's not bad. It's not a bad get. Treyarch usually listen to the community from time to time. Yeah. Infinity Ward games are more military, and Treyarch games are more arcadish than Infinity. Yeah, that might be a reason. Some people might prefer the more arcadey style of Treyarch. Yeah, Treyarch did seem to listen to players. They just still they messed up entirely. But we can all agree that Sledgehammer is the worst at actually tweaking their game. I think Sledgehammer should never be allowed to balance a weapon again. I think they should be completely... I just threw my pen accidentally. I don't think they should ever be allowed to touch a weapon in an FPS game again. I just lost my pen. What the fuck? I have a whole Ben Shapiro thing going on here. I'm dollar store Ben Shapiroing. I can't talk if I can't fiddle with my pen. Shit! Fuck, where's my pen? 1 sec. I gotta get a flashlight. What did you know, you asshole? There we go. Boom, Shapiro. Yeah, I'm like Ben Shapiro if I looked nothing like him, was half as smart, and you found me at a 7-Eleven. I look like fucking shit. But him and I both celebrate Hanukkah, so I guess we're basically the same person. Okay, so yes, Black Ops 2 nerfed the DSR. Yeah, that did fucking suck. I know, Sledgehammer's helping. How do you feel about survival being a PS4 exclusive in Modern Warfare? Well, that's a good way. We're gonna transition to console war conversation, then we're gonna talk about internet discourse. We've talked about Treyarch disappointing me and irritating me for the last 50 minutes. Sorry, this podcast was going to be better, but unfortunately we just have unfortunately I suck and I didn't write anything down. So the next podcast will be better, and I plan on doing another podcast this week because these are fun. Okay. Let's move off of Call of Duty. We are very disorganized. Yes, we're all over the place right now. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. Well, it's casual. Casual. The eyes of the world are not upon us, kids. We can just chill. Yeah, they're helping on production, but like I don't. Again, I just hope that nobody from their staff that touched Advanced Warfare and World War II's weapons, I hope they're not there. I just hope they're fired. Black Ops 3 on a oh, here's a fun one. Rate Black Ops 3 on a scale of 1 to 10. It's a 5. It's actually a 7 as a product. That might surprise you. So in terms of sitting down and playing its multiplayer, it's like it's 5, 4.5, 4.7. It's fun, but to an extent for me personally. But as a product, I actually give it maybe a 7. You get a campaign that sucks, but at least has co-op. You get zombies, which is one of the better zombies iterations we've seen. Really good horde mode with its own story and stuff. So there's stuff to like sink your teeth into, especially if you get DLCs. If not, then yeah, you're a little bit hurt, but whatever. If you really like it, then you'll buy it. So fuck it, I guess. And then you get multiplayer. And you private match that with your friends. Like if you look at everything in Black Ops 3, like when you buy it, that's actually not bad. 9.5. Oof. So, all right, we're talking about consoles now. So I want everybody to type, God, like just like a blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're not talking about COD anymore. We're talking about stupid shit now. We're talking about electronic. It's electronic toy topic time. I never did many Easter eggs in Zombies. My favorite. Oh God, I'm still talking about Call of Duty after I just told everybody to. Okay. Last thing, my favorite. I only really ever did Mob of the Dead's. Like that's the only one you need to do. Like Mob of the Dead is so fun to just play in a circle. I love it. Sorry. Yeah. So anyway, Xbox is better. The end. All right. Okay. You guys caught me. I don't actually think that. I actually don't think that. So don't say anus. No. If you span aim, I'll make Twinkle Toes time you out. Okay. Console Wars, but we're gonna get to that. Twinkle Toes, actually, we're gonna get to that. You can say anus 3 more times, otherwise I'm gonna have somebody time you out. That's 1. Okay. Oh no, he switched to anal. Get him. He found a loophole. So, okay, when we think about console wars, like we often think about the most petulant side of it. I'm a super intellectual, okay? That might be sort of hard for you guys to understand if you're not a super intellectual like me. Okay, when I think of console wars, I actually do not think of them in terms of the most petulant side. I actually do not. I think that's sort of foolish. Wait, 1 second. Idle options. Show me things while I idle. Dim screen after 2 minutes. Cool. We'll have a little background thing going on now. So I'm a super intellectual. I'm a super genius. When I think of console wars, I think of economic competition. That's right. Okay? That's how smart I am. I don't think about little Timmy on Twitter, rip Xbox, or fuck you ponies. I don't. Fuck that kid. I'm talking about economic competition. But the thing is about this podcast is, if you read the title, we're also going to be talking about internet discourse and how we talk about this stuff. All right? So, let's talk about our favorite electronic toys, consoles. After, I gotta get a song. Hold on, kids. What's a good song? All right, so this stream is brought to you by Oh, fuck, that's huge. What she said. This stream is brought to you by Manscaped. I have a discount code linked in the description. At least it should be there. It's code 1BOOM. You get 20% off plus free shipping. If you're a dude and you want to smell good, all right, that's really what this entire ad read is going to be. Like, they don't give me a script at Manscaped. I just get to talk about this. And I know this is like, I'm a guy. A lot of you subscribe to me because I'm genuine. I would not talk about this shit if I didn't use it. I literally am wearing this stuff right now. I smell great despite the fact that I'm kind of sitting in a warm room with a lot of clothes on. So, I don't want to talk about balls all day. I just want to talk about, like, basic hygiene. Like, a nose hair trimmer. Their nose hair trimmer is fantastic. Like, I know some people get really grossed out by nose hair trimmers, so if you're one of those people, just look away for a moment, please. Either way, I absolutely love their shit. When they say skin safe, when I first read that they had skin safe technology, I genuinely thought that this shit didn't, like, that was like a marketing term. No. It literally means that it is skin safe. I turn this on. This is, okay, it's on. The flashlight's on, everything. And I dig it into my arm. It will not cut me. It will not cut me. Shave my nose? Sure, why not? This is also skin safe. And when I run it, it doesn't hurt. Again, you're not going to hurt yourself with it. It's great. It's absolutely fantastic. All right? Then you have these things like the Crop Reviver. This is like a below the belt like spray to smell nicer down there. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. You don't smell. It doesn't smell like chemicals. It doesn't smell like perfume, like you just took Axe and spray. No, like it's pH balanced. And so it like eliminates odors. It just makes you smell better. Like it doesn't like add this like thick layer of stench to you. Like it has a really good smell. Drop it on your toe? Shit, Jason. Then you also have their boxers. When you buy their performance package, you get these really awesome, incredibly soft boxers. I have these folded up so I can do promos with them. I actually love wearing them and I want them to send me more so I can have one for promos and like one for every other day of the week. They're anti-chafing. They're incredibly soft. I sleep in them. I wear them. I actually really like them. All this stuff is my personal stuff. Like, obviously, I didn't buy it. I'm going to tell you guys that. I did not buy this stuff. They sent it to me. But I love it. Like, these, just the ability to have these, like, fold-out floor mats to, like, catch your hair when you trim it off. And this bag. You get this bag. This is a really nice leather bag. Like, my camera does not do it justice. It is a nice, I think it's a faux leather bag, but whatever. It's very nice, though. It's water resistant. It's good. And all this stuff is waterproof. They have a cologne. They have a foot deodorant. They have great stuff. So if you just want to get like a nice pair of fingernail trimmers, a nose hair trimmer, and cologne, something like that, whether for your dad or your boyfriend or your brother or yourself, consider using code 1BOOM for 20% off plus free shipping. I use the stuff daily. If my girlfriend was here, she'd attest to how much she appreciates that I use it daily. It's great stuff. Because the thing is we can be gamers and we can sit here and argue about video game shit all day. It's the fact is, like, you don't want to look like the guy that sits in a room and talks about video game shit all day. And the thing is, I can't help but look like that. It's just how I was born. But at least I don't smell like it. Like, their stuff is great for scent, great for hair. It's just, again, there's no better brand, honestly. So, imagine giving, yeah, just give them your, yeah. But I mean, like, you know, if your brother wants like cologne, like their cologne smells really good. Like it goes on and it doesn't like overpower. Like, okay, one of the big things I'm gonna say about Manscaped that I really like, just like completely off like record of anything. One of the things I absolutely love about it is that it never bothers my mom. So I live with my mom after my dad. You know, my dad died. I live with her, and she has a super sensitive nose. Like if I run my wax melt for too long, if I have a candle burning for too long, she gets a headache. She hates colognes. She hates scentsy things. So when I put on my cologne, like the way I tested it, because she's like, yeah, sure, my mom goes down, fuck off. But no, like my cologne, I just sprayed the cologne on my wrist, and I was like, what does it smell like? Didn't bother her at all. it smells good, but it doesn't give you a headache. And that's the thing is, I'm a little sensitive too. I can't spray Axe on myself. I give myself a headache. I don't like too much Febreze or too much Axe. I need artificially scents. Like I really like it. So that was kind of like my test for the product, was to like if it bothered her, because again, like my mom, again, certain candles will bother her. She's very sensitive. I don't want to listen to that. Very sensitive nose wise. So I'm really happy that like it's just good. It's really good stuff. Not like Bed Bath and Body Works bullshit. I'm not talking about just ball sacks. Honestly, their whole website's awesome. Is there international free shipping? I don't exactly. Yes, I think they do actually now have. They did open up internationally. I'm pretty sure. I think they at least are serving Europe now. So go ahead and double check. But please, Sweet Home Alabama, fuck all of you. But yeah, I lost some viewers doing the ad read. I was kind of expecting that, but I really wanted to like kind of push that a little bit because I use the stuff daily, guys. I recommend my Astros too, because I use them every day. You guys know me. If I don't like something, I stay very far away from it. Okay. So, we're going to talk about gaming consoles. But I first have to text somebody real fast. So, consoles. Interesting. There isn't a lot set up for consoles this year. It's interesting to me how little there really is in terms of like console launch exclusives that you can't get anywhere else. Like PlayStation has Demon's Souls and Little Big Planet at launch. I'm pretty sure that's their two launch titles. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's it. I'm texting somebody. I apologize for the thing. So let's see. Consoles are fun toys, yes. Yeah, they're toys, I guess. Demon's Souls. Ratchet and Clank. Okay, is there a Ratchet and Clank game? Yeah, Spider-Man is not a PS5 game. Spider-Man, the remaster is, but in terms of like a new game, not an upgraded game. Like I'm talking like a new game. Miles Morales is coming out on PS4. That's where I'm going to be playing it, because there's no reason for me to spend money. I want to keep it on balls. If you want to keep it on balls, dude, buy some Manscaped and get in a Discord call with me. We'll just shave our balls and talk, hang out. It's cool. What guys do, right? Ratchet and Clank are in the spring. Okay, so launch games. We're talking launch games, kids. We're not talking about after winter. You guys are bringing up fucking remasters. You guys are bringing up enhancements. You guys are bringing up stuff for the spring. On launch day, what can you get that you can't play somewhere else? Like if you're with the homies. Yeah, the homies. It does sound sus, and I regret saying it. So, ATG. Boom, you hear the rumor that the new Xbox down the road might be able to support Steam. I don't quite believe it, but I thought it was interesting. ATG, this is a good question, actually. So, could Xbox support Steam? Yes. I absolutely agree. It very much so could. Like, there's no reason that it couldn't happen. Steam has had a very good relationship with Microsoft's Xbox division. Gabe Newell is a big fan of Xbox. Also, again, like Linus Tech Tips said this a while back. Xboxes, PlayStation 5s, they're just gaming PCs. They're x64, they're x64 architecture. Is it 64X or x64? I second guess myself now, I can't remember. They're 64-base architecture. They're just gaming PCs with AMD GPUs and shit. They're not proprietary little power things with cell processors. No, like that. They're just PCs. So all Microsoft would have to do. So this is how this would run, actually. By the way, so I'm not just focusing on Microsoft and Xbox, even though that's sort of where my camp is. I really actually have something to say about this. So you know how it's a big deal when Xbox rolled out a backwards compatible game or a free game with gold or a Game Pass game. It's a big deal. Like, it's like one of their big things they do. It's like, oh, you can now play X butthole game on our Game Pass system. Awesome. Very cool. But, and this is a big but, sorry. I'm trying to text people because I'm, whatever. I should have told people I was streaming. So, I lost my fucking train of thought. Okay, so you have these gaming PC-like devices. And what if, because Microsoft would have to approve the Steam games one by one, okay? Microsoft would have to approve each Steam game because you can't just take games from Steam and throw them on the Xbox and just expect them to run perfectly. You have input control things. So Xbox could just reveal, like, it'd be a big thing. New Steam game added. Because Microsoft has gone through their entire, this is interesting to me. So Microsoft went through their entire library to find out which games worked and didn't work with auto HDR enabled. Why is that important? You think they said they spent 5,000 hours. 5,000 hours getting everything done. How long is 5,000 fucking hours? $5,000 hours to days. That's 208 days. That's almost a year. That's closer to a year than not. That they spent going through every game for auto HDR. Exactly. So the reason they went through that is to find out which games don't look right with HDR on, and they got rid of them. So like, Fallout New Vegas does not work with auto HDR. So, take it out because it just doesn't look right. The color scheme doesn't work. The scheme of New Vegas doesn't work well with auto HDR, but like Ninja Gaiden works really well with HDR. So auto HDR is a great feature. Games like Sunset Overdrive apparently look amazing in auto HDR. And I'm so excited because I have a nice QLED TV over here. I'm really excited to try this out with. The reason this is important is you think Microsoft spent 208 days just testing auto HDR? No. I think they were getting, I think it's very possible they could have been getting games ready to see if they'll, like, run. I think they also were testing other things there. Because there's already a lot of crossover on, like, Steam. There's a lot of, like, crossovers on Steam and Xbox. So, like, you don't need to buy the Steam version of Fallout and the Xbox version of Fallout. I don't think that's going to happen. But if they integrate Steam, it could literally just be things that don't have any sort of crossover. So basically, if a game is on Xbox and not Steam, okay, fine, nothing changes. If the game is on, I'm losing my train of thought because I'm responding to texts here. Okay. If the game is on Steam and Xbox, okay, it stays on Xbox because Xbox isn't going to compete with themselves. But if the game is on Steam and not Xbox, that game could eventually get approved to run on your Series X. And if they even stepped it up a bit further and said that Steam just works with all Xboxes to varying degrees of quality, it'd be big. I mean, we have the Xbox Series X, objectively, is about as powerful as a high-end gaming PC with an RTX 2080. That's the power we're looking at. Okay, unfortunately, some games are still doing, like Ubisoft's Watch Dogs Legion for some reason is locking it at 30 FPS. No, just let me turn down the resolution and get 60 frames, please. Five Nights at Freddy's is actually already on Xbox, interestingly enough. So, I don't think it's impossible. I think they could be doing that testing. It would just benefit Microsoft and Steam, because Steam has had one player base. And Steam tried to get into the console market with the Steam Machine, guys. This is not outside the realm of possibilities here. So you have, here's the people that are on Steam right now. They have gaming PCs. Okay, they have computers. So, yeah, exactly. I don't know why they're locking that at 30. That's unnecessary. That's Ubisoft, though. That's not the console. Like, I don't know why because Assassin's Creed Valhalla is 4K 60. Native 4K 60. Like, that's incredible for a console to be able to do native 4K 60. Whatever. Either way. If Steam could expand their library, their player base. I'm so spacey right now. If they could expand their player base, it would be fantastic for them. It would just be more money for them. So imagine you go to the Microsoft Store and there's a Steam section, and Steam games would have a little Steam icon, like a little Steam badge on it, which basically says this is a game that's from Steam. And Steam gets a kick, like they get like a little kickback if you buy from the Microsoft Store. This is a more player base. This is more money, and it's very little work on either of them. It's very little effort. So imagine a game like Arma 3. How much better, or Counter-Strike Go. Because the Xbox Series X also has native keyboard and mouse support. Native. Like, it's not like some games allow it. No, it has native keyboard and mouse support. It's not impossible. We could definitely see this. So also, I'll say this one more time here. I'm saying the wrong things. I need to, like... I'm having trouble keeping... Again, I didn't write anything down. Everyone's been kind of, like, a little bit disappointed. It's kind of the elephant in the room that Microsoft doesn't have any VR options. Xbox not having VR options is pretty sad. So that kind of makes me angry. But what if they just... what if the reason they're doing that, they're not doing their own VR solution, is because they're just going to allow... They're just going to sell an adapter for a VR headset and then just be like, oh, by the way, we have Steam VR. I don't know. And the thing is if this idea is floating out there, and Microsoft has already been talking to Steam, that's why Halo is... by the way, my arm isn't that flabby. It's my sweatshirt, by the way. It looks awful. Anyway, if like Xbox talked to Steam and like they got Master Chief Collection on Steam. So if this idea is floating out there and Steam doesn't capitalize, Epic Games Store might. GOG might. Some other company might be like, you know what? I'm going to talk to Microsoft. I want to get all my PC games running on their Series X. With a little bit of optimization, a little bit of tweaking. What if PlayStation did Steam? They have no evidence of that would ever happen. Also, again, like, it's very interesting. Gabe Newell was asked, what console do you prefer? What brand do you prefer? He said Xbox. And they said, will you go into that? He's like, nah. And Linus Tech Tips, he is in the scene. Like, Linus Tech Tips is in the scene. He knows a lot of stuff that we don't. He gets a lot of information he can't talk about. And he said, like, I don't know why these consoles can't run Steam. They're just gaming PCs. And then he was like, he said, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like, it's so possible. It would make total sense. And Sony would not like that. I don't think so. I think they'd like to have an exclusive feature over Xbox. But that would put, like... I think it would take away from their store too much. They wouldn't want... I don't think Sony has... Sony doesn't even like you playing your PS3 games. They haven't tried to do anything integrating their PS3 games. I don't think they want you to go into their store and see a different store's games. They would get a cut, but I can't see them doing it. I don't know. The company that had to have their arm twisted for crossplay is suddenly going to allow Steam on their console? It wouldn't fit their MO. I don't think it would. But do not be surprised if we see some integration with Steam or Nintendo. Because Microsoft's been shaking hands with Steam and Nintendo and just being out there. We have no idea. They have a big event coming the day before launch of Xbox, and the Xbox, and I feel like they have to drop a bombshell. Okay? Let's be real here. America is depressed and divided and frustrated. People are growing up. People like me that grew up with Xbox are, and I actually grew up with PlayStation, but grew up with gaming. I'm now getting older. Like, I have to buy this shit myself. Like, I'm kind of annoying. I am, but I'm kind of annoyed about just like the nature around this launch isn't big. Microsoft, I think, needs to like get out there on the 9th and be like, there is a damn good reason to get out there and go pick out a console. Go to your store. Go stand in line right now. Because if they do it on the 9th, then like midnight, like on the 10th, the night of the 9th, they're going to go out and stand in front of the GameStop. They have one day to get you to, ow, they have, sorry, I hit my fucking, Jesus, work hazard. They have 24 hours to get you to go buy an Xbox. Okay? I honestly feel like they're trying to do something there. It's just the vibe I get from their Twitter account, from all the people they're talking to, how they're interacting with Nintendo, and how they're how Xbox New Zealand was like talking about something like on the same day as Gabe Newell. Like Gabe Newell was like, I want to do something in New Zealand with a game development studio, and then Xbox New Zealand was just like being cagey about it. Also, Xbox is talking about was talking to Discord about Discord integration, like proper Discord integration on Xbox. I just don't put any of this past them. I mean, we're really just buying like proprietary gaming PCs at this point. Like we're just buying dedicated gaming PCs. And there's no reason like Discord and Steam can't come to it. So I actually do believe that they want to do something on the last day before launch. They're going to see something big. So expect something Nintendo, Steam, maybe Ubisoft, something. You're going to see some big announcement on the 9th. I will be very disappointed if they get up on the 9th and go, buy our console, please, oh God. Like, I really hope they're going up there on the 9th to make, like, a big wave in the console industry. Because right now, Sony is dragging behind, in my opinion. Sony has exclusives, and that topic is done to death. You do not need to tell me about PlayStation's exclusives. This last spring, I spent $800 to get a PlayStation 4, a new TV, so I can have a corner in my room. Say it's right over there. See this viewing corner? I had Wendy's tonight. I had a chicken sandwich. Okay. See that TV corner? I built that based around my PlayStation. There's my PlayStation box up there right underneath my fan. Right there. Okay? I spent a lot of money. I spent a lot of fucking money. Sorry. I spent a lot of money to get PlayStation exclusives like Spider-Man and Final Fantasy. Look, I know PlayStation exclusives are awesome, but they're lagging behind in a different area. They have yet to announce one feature that makes me feel like I'm getting a better value from them than Xbox. Like, not one feature. Like, I don't understand this. Like, how is Sony so conceited that they just think that because they have God of War, or Horizon Zero Dawn, or Spider-Man, that they can just go like, oh, whatever, fuck it. You'll buy our console because you want to play Miles Morales. Like, no? I mean, yeah, I will, but like, looking at it objectively. Looking at it fucking objectively. What are they offering that makes it a better value? Where's their Game Pass? Okay? Where's their big studio acquisition? Grabbing Bethesda it was very disappointing to see Sony fans, PlayStation fans. I'm a PlayStation fan. I became one this last year. But see people say like, "Oh, nobody cares about Bethesda." Like that's dead news. That was a bad acquisition. Nobody cares about Wolfenstein, Doom, Fallout, Skyrim. First I've heard of it. This is the first I've ever heard that people don't care about Elder Scrolls. I didn't know nobody cared about Elder Scrolls. That's insane to me. No. Where is Sony's big studio acquisition? Where? Okay, and then their digital console. They're all digital consoles. It's a good bargain. I think it's actually a nice deal to get that for $400. It's the same console without a disc drive. I think that's actually pretty good. But but it's not the Series S. See, if you're going to spend $400 on a console, you might as well spend $500 and get the added flexibility of being able to buy discs. Also, if you really care about a franchise, I really recommend buying physical copies of it because you don't want it to go away with your account. You want to be able to play it when the internet goes out, okay? Okay, we don't... No, if you really care about a franchise, if you're like, for me, I always buy Kingdom Hearts physically. I buy Kingdom Hearts physically. I'm going to have a physical copy of Halo Infinite. I don't want... No, if you really care about something, really, get it physically. Also, sometimes physical is just on sale better. So, yeah, I'll talk about exclusivity and stuff in a minute. But here's the thing: PlayStation thinks if they give Red Dead people that are pre-ordering Red Dead exclusive cosmetics, or if they give survival mode to Modern Warfare players for a year before Xbox gets it. They think that if they do that, then you'll just come and buy their console. No, where's your Series S? Where's your Game Pass? Where's a big studio acquisition that can excite me for later years? Honestly, Microsoft announces Steam or VR, or they acquire Ubisoft or Sega or some shit. They do one thing like that, and I'm over the moon. And for some reason, there's all this confusion. Well, you know, I don't think Elder Scrolls is going to be an exclusive. That would be ridiculous. No, Phil Spencer gets the final say on that. Once the deal is completely finalized, we're going to hear about it. So, no, I think this whole idea that this is a non-story is very much so biased in favor of, very much so biased in favor of PlayStation, because these are actually kind of big deals. Like, these are actually kind of big deals that Microsoft is doing. These are big plays, because Microsoft, on November 10th, Microsoft might not be able to blow your socks off. Okay? But that's not where console wars are won. Console wars are not won in the first year. They're won in the second and third and fourth, fifth, sixth. So they're setting themselves up to win. That's just how it is. And Sony has to realize that when somebody goes to buy a console, they're going to look at everything. If they're value oriented, they're going to look at everything. They're not going to go, this costs less, this has a Game Pass service. And the thing is, like, Game Pass Ultimate is $5 more than Gold per month. It's not $15 a month. No, that's if you're getting Gold with it, which, you know, you have to pay for PS Plus. If you're paying for PS Plus, you might as well, you know, no, I don't want to hear this like, oh, it's too expensive. No, it's really not, actually. For what you're getting, it's actually not expensive. It's an incredible value. Game Pass has absolutely blown... Microsoft said they were blown away by how receptive people had been to it. I've bought into it. It's actually a very nice service to have. And the thing is, like, the fact that Game Pass Ultimate gives me access to games on PC, my console, for $5 more than Gold a month, that's incredible. That's literally $5 extra. And they allow you to game share, so my girlfriend gets all of it too. So it's essentially split 250-250. I honestly can't believe that people get very upset about that they don't understand that. So Sony needs a bullet. They need a silver bullet. And no, it's not going to be an exclusive game. Okay? It's not going to be a single exclusive game. It's not going to be God of War 2. It's not going to be Horizon Forbidden West. Like, that's not what it's going to be. Because people that are looking for value, that don't have all this brand recognition, and they're not really bought into they're not, like, specific to one ecosystem. They have a lot of options right now. Again, Nintendo gets away with their weird proprietary locking in thing because they charge $300 for a portable console that can be hooked up to a TV. Okay? It's a very different experience. When we're comparing what are essentially two gaming PCs, the Xbox Series X is more powerful. Okay? So it has the power benefit, has a little bit more space on its drive than the PlayStation does, which is weird to think that PlayStation did. Okay, whatever. I don't know why PlayStation cut their SSD like that. I know it's fast, but I don't know why they did that. So Microsoft has Game Pass. They have the Series S. They have the better hardware in the Series X. You know, the problem is that this should have been, like, if Microsoft was smart, this would have been, like, talked about. This would have been talked about, like, good God, like, when would this have been talked about? I can't think of a good time. Probably early this month. It is, Scotty, man. Thank you for the $2, man. I really appreciate you, dude. And it is. It's more powerful than a $500 computer. Like, you're getting a much better deal. Like, computers are obviously upgradable and they're more versatile. I'm not going to pretend they aren't. But in terms of raw power and value, getting an Xbox Series X and Game Pass is an amazing deal. It's just a fucking, like, big deal. Microsoft 5 months ago should have been like, okay, or 6 months ago, should have been like, we are buying Bethesda. And then for launch, they should have had a Bethesda game. They should have had something, a new Wolfenstein or something, because they don't have Halo. They're launching an Xbox without Halo. And that kills me. So something is happening before the 10th. They have something ready. it disturbs me that so many people are they can't hear this. Like they think that like if you say anything like this, you're just like you're an Xbox fanboy. And there's all this like interesting stuff on like in the PlayStation community when I see them talk. I'm burping. When I see them talking on Twitter, it looks like speculation, and it's a lot of just name calling and shit. Like today, I was dealing with somebody that was like, he said he was an Xbox fan, but he said like Xbox had just like Xbox fucked over their player base, and PlayStation has exclusives. Exclusives are not the end all be all for a console. It clearly isn't. Otherwise, everybody would have a PS4. They don't. PS4 also, it was measured in 2016, I believe, that PlayStation didn't really have that many more active users, monthly active users than Xbox. Like Xbox showcased like their monthly average users, and Sony did as well, and it was like, wow, that's actually kind of neck and neck. So while Sony sold a shit ton, how many of those people are just plugging, like, they just plug it in to watch Netflix or use as a Blu-ray drive? In terms of monthly active users, there's pretty much the same player bases. It's pretty much the exact same player base. You gotta remember, PlayStation was barely outselling Xbox in Europe, Canada, and America. Where they were killing them was in Japan. Japan, they were selling like 21, like 1 month they sold like 21,000, and Xbox sold 3 Xboxes. Microsoft sold 3 Xboxes to their 21,000 PlayStations. It was something. It was a crazy number like that. I don't remember exactly what it is. That graph's kind of old, and that's the thing, right? I'm kind of confused, like why people think that just Xbox is like has nobody. No, it has a lot of people, and the reason is because Microsoft has taken down barriers. If you buy a gaming PC, if you're an Xbox player and you buy a gaming PC, Microsoft doesn't say, ditch your fucking stupid Xbox and be a PC gamer. They say they integrate. It's kind of a big deal that they do. It's a big deal that they do. That's a nice benefit. If you decide to switch to a gaming PC, you're not leaving your shit behind. Yeah, a 2080 I don't think costs 700 by itself. I don't think that's right. It's still about the same as a console, but it's not. No. But yeah. So I had something written down, or sorry, I had something I was going to write down about this that I really wanted to talk about, and I'm sort of trying to remember it right now. But I guess while I'm struggling to think that, I want to know from you guys, like, what name? Just give me 2 reasons. If we're talking about consoles specifically, not PC. PC is its own thing. Okay, I'm streaming on a nice one right now. Nobody here needs to be educated. Maybe someone, but nobody here needs to be educated about how awesome PCs are. Most people know. Talk about consoles. Give me 2 reasons. Hey, Henry. Give me 2 reasons. Sony fanboys think, well, they do exist, Scotty man. Thank you for the $2, but they do exist. Economic competition is never not going to exist. Microsoft and Sony are competing for your money. So in terms of like toxicity, that might be like shitty fanboy stuff. But I'm talking about just like debate, like civil debates and stuff. They do, like console wars do. Like it's 2 competing products for sales, for player base, for features, for exclusives. It's important. Like it's important for me as a gamer, like to see like which one is going to give me what. I'm getting a PS5 in the spring, like that's, or maybe this winter. We'll see. Like I'd have to have a very good month, for me to even try to justify that. I'd have to have like 4 or 5 $200 streams in 1 month for me to even think about that. That'd be stupid because nothing, you know. Will I be playing Halo Infinite? Yes, I will be playing Halo Infinite. So anyway, so I need 2 reasons. 2 reasons why you prefer one platform over the next, but you're not allowed to mention Game Pass or exclusives. No, I guess. No, console wars are not a joke. Economic competition's a thing. Different products offer different things. So I want 2 things. Without exclusives or Game Pass, talk about your platform. Yes, exactly, Dalton. Xbox had a terrible opening. Like, Xbox out of the gate was like, we're going to be your DVR. Your always online DVR with no used games. Oh my god. Okay. More convenient, accessible. That's a little subjective, but okay. What is this music? What is playing here? Okay. PS4 focusing about sound quality and has a good menu. Okay. Looks and tradition. My dad and I had an Xbox. My dad and I had an Xbox. We played games. Xbox is what we had. Also, Halo was the first game I ever played, so it stuck with me. Okay. The color green to blue. Xbox One X is really powerful. That's kind of where I'm at. Not with the green and blue, but the Xbox One X is for a console. Holy shit. Social platform is great. Xbox has faster hardware while PlayStation hardware is native but slower. That is interesting. They have all this like custom hardware every year, and like it's weaker. Like the one time it's like if you're a console manufacturer, stop trying to create secret sauce. Do you remember the fucking like the secret sauce about the Xbox One was the ES RAM? What a nightmare. They did this whole like ES RAM bullshit. Like, oh, it has the super fast RAM that we're gonna access with an update later on, and just put good hardware in. You won't have to do that. Xbox, great multiplayer experience and UI. One, it's where my friends are. Two, it's what I'm used to. Totally fair. That's like a big one. Like Microsoft were late in their delivery. Yes, offline stuff. It's always with 360. Xbox had the more comfortable controller for me. Even the Duke. Yep. PS4 was cheaper. That's true. Less camping in Modern Warfare on Xbox. That is not true. Like that shit still pisses me off. Yeah, that is, yeah. I prefer PlayStation because I grew up on the platform, especially now a console is cheaper than a PC considering what goes into it. Yeah, it's crazy. New console for PS4 looks like a lab coat. Serious as I prefer PlayStation over Xbox with the controller. Feels better in my hands than PlayStation. Always been able to run games better than on the Xbox. First PlayStation over the Xbox is the play. Okay, cool. Okay, I don't like the DualShock controller, but that's totally fine. I think they're too small for my hands. I have big man hands. Xbox has slightly better native hardware. PS has easier navigation. Switch lets you amputate it. PS has VR. Xbox has good interface. Okay. For PS5 or the Xbox Series X has the retro compatibility with my PS4 games. Loading times look sweet. Plus Nintendo and PlayStation have a big part of my life. Never been an Xbox guy. Dude, I honestly, it would be hard for me to say no to the PS5 if it would have had PS2, PS3 backwards compatibility. And like they actually talked about auto enhancements. Like Series X nailed backwards compatibility, like right out of the gate. They were just like, okay, your stuff's gonna look and run better. Just we're gonna turn up anisotropic filtering. We're gonna have this shit running better for you, native on the hardware. No no weird like subsection of the hardware will be dedicated to emulation. No, like native hardware support. Like awesome, very cool. Better online deals plus PS4 goes better online deals with plus and free games. I think their free games are better, but I don't think their deals are any better. Let's see. Chonky Boy. I like that Chonky Boy too. Not every 360 was backwards compatible. Yeah, for a while. But you know, but it was cool that they at least wanted to do that. PS3 had this problem with Sonic Summit. This problem with what killed Sega Saturn. Yes, you don't want to make your hardware hard to develop for. Gotcha. The PS3, I think people did install Linux on their PS3s. Physical games always have better deals. That's actually pretty true. Not the convenience, but definitely the deals. So, that's true. Xbox is like constantly trying to like sweet spot their console. And PlayStation's like, it works. I'll tell you guys my opinion. After playing with a PS4 Pro and an Xbox One X pretty much all year, Microsoft builds a better console. I don't know how to say it. Like with the One X is a beautiful monster. Like it is so much more soundly built. Like my friend was like talking about it with me because we were showing. I unboxed my PS4. And I was like, wow, this is not packaged well. And he's like, what do you mean? I showed him my Xbox One X packaging. It's just night and mid. Like it like folds open and it has this like whole presentation here. Like when you slide a disc into a PS4 Pro, it's like not that bad, but you know, it's like it's noise. It's like That's more accurate. Slide a disc into an Xbox, it goes. It's firm. It doesn't creak. The plastic quality doesn't grab fingerprints and dust because it's not textured. There's like this weird, like it's just a better feeling console. The I/O, the I/O is just much easier to access on the Xbox because it's flat. It's flat, whereas like the PlayStation's like tucked under these like the weird slant. So the PlayStation 4 is like, it's bigger, it's awkward to place. It looks like 3 books stacked on top of each other, and it they just have nightmare overheating issues. Yes, Scotty man, sexy console, all black and silent. There's only one game I've played that actually heats up my Xbox, and that's Modern Warfare. Hey Cormit, nice to see you, man. Thank you for the $2, Scotty man. I really appreciate it, man. So like, yeah, like Xbox has that quality. Their controllers even, like DualShock 4s, they're nicer than DualShock 3s, but they don't have that, like, I can throw this feeling. Like, DualShock feels weak to me. And like, the stick placements, they're a little more narrow than I prefer. They knew this because the new DualSense controller looks like an Xbox controller. I'm not critiquing it for that either. Like, I think it's actually really cool. It kind of has that Xbox layout. Really like that. Sony does own the patent for Blu-ray, but it doesn't really matter anymore because the PlayStation 4 does not have 4K Blu-ray. The Xbox One X did. So, yes, the OG PS4 design, I really wish the Pro just looked like that. Oh, okay, Xbox 360 is different. I'm talking about, like, this generation. I'm talking about, like, now. I'm talking about now. It took me a while, Justin. It took me like 6 months to learn the Xbox One controller, but I've come around. No, my PS4 Pro is actually pretty quiet, even when playing like the really intensive parts of stuff like Final Fantasy VII or like Death Stranding, when things get like really haywire-y. Like nothing really speeds up for me. What do you think about Xbox Series X still using external batteries? Awesome. It's awesome. Like, it's so much more flexibility. I do think they should come with rechargeable batteries. That'd be ideal. But I like the flexibility. Watching Hunter x Hunter for the first time. In love. Cormit, I hope you enjoy it. I'm like at episode 15. I got held up by watching some other movies and stuff with my girlfriend, so I haven't been able to keep up with it. But I'm really like, I do like it. Thank you so much for the $2, Cormit. I really appreciate you, dude. The Scuff Impact? Yeah, the Scuff Impact does look better. I don't think the Xbox UI is honestly like that confusing. Like, I've been using it for a while, so maybe that's just bias, but it's like you load up the thing and you have, this is your last used app. These are your last, so you have your last 7 used apps here. You have some ads. You have a My Games and Apps section. It loads very fast, and then you just have all your games. And then you have your apps. And then you have the groups that you can make if you want. And then you go to your full library. This is actually much easier to get to your library on Xbox than it is on PS4 Pro. Like, or just on the PS4, I guess. It's actually harder to get to your library on PlayStation compared to this. It's like, okay, boom, boom, and I'm here. And there's my library. There's all my own games. But, like, ads are just going to be a part of UIs. You can also, you can customize it right here, which was really easy. You can also, I believe, yeah, you can also hit, like, you can hit a button that says show less like this. So if I selected, this says this week's trending games right here. Click show less, and that will adjust. Or this one also. I don't think you can move the final ad. You cannot move the final ad anymore. Okay, well that actually kind of sucks dick. But what's really good about this system is there's no other menu. Like, it's just all vertical. It's just like, okay, so here's the entire Xbox dashboard. And that's it. It's that simple. On PS4, you tap R1? Really? Well, I guess, yeah, I never do that kind of stuff, though. I guess I'm just used to going, like, I load up, I go here, and I go down here. Really? Tapping R? Oh, I guess it would. I guess it cycles through the menu to the end. I don't know. Will the Xbox Series X still charge you to play free-to-play games online? That depends on the developers, I think, because some developers have made it so their games don't require gold. Show less trending games, Phil Spencer! So the last thing I want to talk about here, because I've been rambling for a while, I mean, oh shit, where's my water bottle? Oh, down here, kids. Okay, so I want to talk about internet discourse. I want to talk about internet discourse here for a second, and then we're going to wrap up the podcast. So I don't have much to talk about in terms of console war stuff. Again, I'll make notes, and we'll talk more about this kind of stuff later. This is a very impromptu podcast. I think anybody that's sitting here and watching this, I thank you so much, because this has been a mess. Keep losing my train of thought because I didn't have anything written down. The PS4 main page is better. I will say it's more pretty. It's more of an experience to load up your PlayStation because you get like music and visual and like odd and like animations. It's nicer. I'll say it. So internet discourse is like kind of like devolving more and more each year. We see this like politically, we see this in gaming, we see this. You can't even talk about like movies. You can't even talk about what movie you like. Well, first you have the people that want to call you sexist and racist, no matter what you fucking say. That's a problem. You okay? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? That's a problem, right? Like it's this like constant thing of generalization. I'm not trying to get political, but I'm saying like it's this constant state of generalization. Like, so if you guys read my Twitter bio, it literally says, if I go here to Twitter, and I guess when I say like I don't really do a lot of internet discourse because I value my mental health a little bit. But my bio on Twitter is FPS YouTuber with a heart of gold. If you can't argue with me, categorize me. Okay? This is a problem that's all over the internet right now. Like, there is this weird. Oh, do you think Phil Spencer? Oh, thank you, Scotty man, for the $2. Do you think Phil Spencer saved the Xbox One? Yes, I think Phil Spencer was the right man to put in that position. I want him to be a little bit more aggressive in this next year, and I hope he is. I feel like I'm talking about a politician when I talk about Phil Spencer. But yeah, no, I do. So anyway, not talking about politics. I'm just saying it's a common thing of generalization. You disagree with this, you agree with, okay, so you go on Twitter. You say, I don't like Star Wars Force Awakens. I think Rey's a shit character. And you get some like smug dude that's just like, why not? Why don't you like Rey? Shit character. I think she's shit. I don't know why I'm putting us. I'm really showing my biases here. Whoops. But look, my bad. Oh, she's a shit character. I think Rey sucks eggs. Why does Rey suck? You know? What do you mean by that? It's a sort of like these intellectuals, these people. They come in there like, you know, they're looking to categorize you. I think your real issue is that she's a woman. Yeah, that's your problem right there. She's a woman. That's what bothers you. Aw, man. I mean, honestly, if this was a systemically racist or sexist society, people wouldn't be so fucking offended when they're called racist or sexist. Honestly, in my opinion, Rey is actually just as good as Luke as a character and match the screen time. The only thing that she has that I don't like is her whole like ship thing where she's like, I'm like a really good, I know how to fix the Millennium Falcon. Like Luke was just like good at a speeder, but look, I actually don't think Rey's that bad. I think the directing and the editing is bad. Luke is cuter. I will say Luke is cuter. And that's I'm biased because I have Mark Hamill's flat, no cheekbone pan face as well. So I just have to, you know, we gotta stick together. So what I'm saying is I'm not trying to like start a race war here, but oh, I don't like the new Star Trek show. It's because you don't like there's a black woman in the captain's seat. Like people were trying to like make Star Trek fans that didn't like the new show out to be like sexist or racist. It was like, okay, my God, no. Star Trek fans are basically space hippies. Like they're sci-fi hippies because that's literally what the show was. It was designed by a hippie. Like Star Trek has always been mega progressive all the time. I think they had like the first interracial kiss. Like seriously, it always has been. They just don't like it because it's a shit show. To them, like they just keep they just keep going on about it, right? So the issue is you have people just automatically being categorized. So you see people arguing about consoles and they're automatically being like classified by these other people. And you're not allowed to talk about tech. Oh, God forbid. Oh, God fucking forbid. You talk about tech. God forbid you talk about an Xbox, which literally has stats listed. The gigahertz of the processor, the amount of RAM, the disk drive, you can just read it. It's just facts. Like, Ben Shapiro's cringe, but I will say I've been listening to a lot of him. That's why one of the reasons it kind of encouraged me to do a podcast. But the concept, it turned into a meme, like the whole facts don't care about your feelings thing. But we need to, like, normalize that sentence, like, really badly. Like, I'm not trying to advertise Ben. I don't agree with everything Ben says. I think Ben's a good dude, but obviously I disagree with everything. I disagree with everyone I listen to. Just how I am. I was born an asshole. But the thing is that you can't even talk about facts. You can't even talk about, like, numbers. You can't talk about numbers. You can't talk about facts. You can't talk about data transfer rates. You can't talk about SSD speeds because somebody's going to lay you out. You can't, and everything's out of context too. Like, internet discourse is all about taking things out of context. We saw this with the protests and the riots. You get, like, these, like, compilated clips of, like, fast cut things. I'm like, no, wait, what just happened? It's out of context. A clip of a police officer doing something, and then it cuts quickly to a different police officer. What? What are you supposed to do with that? Ben Shapiro gets memed, but he's actually an individual with thoughts and ideas and opinions, and he's actually a person. He's not a meme. I think memes are a really good way of devaluing individuals. I think it's kind of what I'm talking about here, as like with categorizations. But out of context things and categorizations are just like the big things I run into all the time. Everything's out of context. So PlayStation fans use screenshots of that Halo Infinite demo. Well, Antifa shouldn't wave their flag when they burn down my Taco Bell. Okay, so the thing is that the PlayStation fans, they wanted to use a screenshot, a single screenshot of that Brute, the famous screenshot of the Brute, from the Halo Infinite demo, and they want to show that as, you know, yeah, Craig. That's the name. I was trying to remember the name. Craig. It's like, okay, that's a demo of a game that is not even out yet. So Xbox players, being as salty as they like to be, they sent back a picture from Last of Us 2 that looks rather last gen. It's like a scene where I cannot remember the main character's name in Last of Us. Ellie, I think is her name. Something. So they took a screenshot from that game, and they were like, this is a finished game, and this is a pretty unflattering screenshot, right? And they're like, fuck you, you can't even play it. Person's like, I don't want to play it. And the discourse devolves from there. But it starts up at the top with this, like, I'm going to take something out of context and rub it in somebody's face, and if they get irritated and flash back at me, they're a fanboy, and they're just jealous. How do you do that? How do you do that? So you have you put out of context clips. I don't care what's in the clip. I want the whole context. You can't just show a screenshot and be like, this is what the Xbox Series X is capable of, huh? No. Like, come on. Like, the whole point, like, I think it was ironic because the whole point of people's complaints with Halo Infinite's demo is it looked last gen, implying that last gen games, even on weaker consoles, looked better. So the Series X, just by following the chain of logic, will have games that look better just by having stronger hardware. It just is up to the developers. Like, obviously, it's up to the developers. Like, I saw people talking about Watch Dogs Legion. Watch Dogs Legion on Xbox Series X runs at 4K 30. Oh, I guess the Series X can only handle 30 FPS. Why is Assassin's Creed Valhalla 60? Kind of weird. Is one game just so much more detailed that you can't lower the resolution down to 1440p? You're going to tell me the console that has the power of an RTX 2080 can't run a game at 1080p 60? No, of course it can. It's up to the developers. It's up to the developers. What are you looking forward to in Cold War? I'm excited for zombies and some multiplayer. I mean, zombies, I'm excited to see what it's like, but I actually really did not like the Cold War beta, and we're going to talk about Cold War in one of the next podcasts here. So like that is sort of one of the big issues is you have when people talk about things online, there's always I just look for two things. Categorization. You're an SJW. Yeah, you're a Marxist. You're a communist. You're a racist. You're a bigot. You're a sexist. You're a fanboy. The thing is I actually call people fanboys. I called somebody on Twitter a fanboy today because he was acting like one, and he surprised me. But I think he's just a troll. I was sort of just playing with him. But what's really frustrating, well, then again, he was sort of being an ass. So I feel like when someone's being an ass, I'll be an ass back because I'm nobody's fucking parent. I'm not attempting to be a role model for anybody listening to me. If I need to be an ass, I'm going to be an ass. Hey, Cook, bye. See you later. Definitely homo. Awesome. So when it comes down to it, like, I'm okay with being an ass to people that are being an ass and, like, picking on them and shit. I'm not really talking about politics. I'm just saying, like, in general, internet discourse has boiled down to categorization. You are this. You are this. And out of context things. So out of context statistics. Footage. Clips. Show a clip of somebody doing something. What happened? What happened an hour before this? Like, I really hate out of context clips on the internet. It always bothers me. And then, like, with gaming has so many different things, right? So, like, you show me a screenshot of, like, oh, this game looks pretty bad, and you can tell this person screen capped, paused a compressed YouTube video. So you watch like a YouTube video, like the stream right now. Stream right now is running at like I think like 40, I don't know, like 50, 5,000. I'm doing like 5,000 kilobits per second. So like you pause. Okay, try this right now. Pause the stream while I'm doing this. While I'm doing this, pause the stream. Tell me how good that quality was. Tell me how good that quality was. There's another problem. You know, when you have these people that you're arguing with on the internet and you're trying to have a debate because you care about the subject, everyone thinks that was pretty bad. I participated in the experiment. Yeah, exactly. People do that with like Xbox game trailers to be like, look how shit this looks. You can't freeze frame a YouTube video, screenshot it, and go, but see, now that we're in motion and the pixels are actually, it all makes sense. But if you pause right now while I do this, it's fuck off. Also, video games are not perfect looking. We do not have photorealistic games that are just like Modern Warfare, one of the prettiest games to ever come out. I love the new Infinity Ward engine. It's fantastic. You look closely, there's cracks. There's immersion breaking cracks through all of it. You could have a $20 grand supercomputer playing like a video game. It's gonna look It's gonna be cracks everywhere. So anyway, you have people you're talking to, and the thing is that you're not a no-life or a shallow, shitty person for wanting to debate and argue. Like, I only ever really like to pick on people when they they clearly are just being an asshole. They're throwing around the crying, laughing emojis. I got that today. Clown face emojis and fuck you. It's like, now I'm gonna call you a lonely piece of shit because you're acting like an ass. And these sort of altercations are becoming more and more fatiguing as we get older. But sometimes it's fun to interact with them. But we care about the subject. So let's just assume that if you want to argue about consoles, politics, movies, TV shows, music, like, you have the interest to talk about it, right? Only Jake is a no-life, exactly. You have the interest to talk about the subject. But the people that want you don't know who's talking about it with you. So my mom works in ResHab, which is like residential habilitation. Not rehabilitation, habilitation. It's people with they have mental illnesses, they have Down syndrome, they have something mental usually. Sometimes it's physical, has physical manifestations. But mostly it's people that can't really live on their own. They have to have somebody coming and help make food, keep an eye on them, make sure they're not doing certain things that could be detrimental to them. And one of the interesting things about that is what I learned is that from my mom's stories, these people are on Xboxes. There's people that are seriously, they have cross-wired brains. I'm not making fun. Honestly, I have friends. I've had a friend like that. We have family friends like that. I have neighbors that are, you know. I'm not making fun. I'm sorry. I don't have a very empathetic, like perfectly worded thing to say. It's just these people. They're not mentally there, but they're high functioning enough. They drive their own cars. They work jobs. They play Xbox or PlayStation. They get into Twitter arguments. And you don't know who you're arguing with. Like, think about this. It's not always a kid. It's not always a troll or a fanboy, an SJW, a racist. You can be arguing with people that are just not there. Like, they're not mentally there. And that's interesting. I didn't know this. I never thought about this until my mom was like, yeah, no, my client has an Xbox. And she talks to people online and she does all this stuff. Hey, Oni Agent, thank you for the $2, man. And so it's hard to navigate Twitter knowing this. Because I can see it everywhere. It's hard to navigate YouTube even. Like, you think a lot of these YouTubers that just don't act right, like they film dead bodies in suicide forests, do you really think they're just greedy, bad people? I think they're cross-wired in one way or another, and it's very disappointing. Because I think we are both a culture that fetishizes mental issues, and we're also a culture that is absolutely terrified to talk about them. And there's no in between. And that's my feelings on that. So I don't know if you're dealing so I have to be very careful. I don't interact with every troll that tweets me. I like to sometimes quote tweet them and be like, "Oh, you caught me. I'm a retard," and just sort of like sarcastically be like, "Oh, thanks." You know, they get a consequence for their actions. But I really am a bit paranoid about this now because I've talked to people, even in my personal life on Xbox or whatever. I don't look into their lives, and I don't know what their life is like. I don't know if they have a caregiver. I don't know if they have trouble. You know, because you can be a totally high functioning person. And just the reasoning, the ability to reason in your mind is just shot. You can't reason. You can't logically think. And it's sad because gaming is so inclusive just by its nature. Because if you're a gamer, like, you don't need to be physically fit. You don't need to be attractive. You don't need to be healthy. And you're not going to be judged. People, like, it's not a community where you're going to be judged. You don't have to fit anything. You just have to have fun. You have to be interested. You have to have a level of passion. So this brings everybody in. This brings everybody in, no matter where they are. And I think there's a clash because I do think there are people that are just unable to reason. And I think that's sad. And I don't know. I'm not saying people that disagree with me are retarded. I don't want that to be misconstrued. I'm not saying people that disagree with me have mental issues and they just can't be reasoned with. I'm never going to say that, ever, because I have no idea. But the problem is that we have no idea. So when it comes to talking about consoles, politics, media, film, your society that you live in, it's very hard because you don't know who you're talking to. So it's the nature of the online that we've totally taken for granted because we are online far too often. We are online so often that we forget that we're online. We forget that, like, we are just glancing at the thoughts, at the misconstrued thoughts of somebody else. Not the misconstrued thoughts, the strung out thoughts. I don't know. Like a list of you don't have any context behind their opinions. How about that? That's a better way to put it. You do not have any context behind the opinion of the person you're communicating with. Isn't that crazy? So, because of this, so much, like, we want to talk, we want to debate. There's such a craving in this country and in other countries as well. But, like, speaking as an American, there's such a craving for good, rational conversation. People watch me And I have no elegance to the way I speak. I might have some, I might be entertaining to listen to for some people, but I am not an elegant speaker. I am anything but an elegant speaker. I just spit when I'm saying I'm not an elegant speaker, and because I drank water too fast, whatever. Fucking, I'm a mess. Life's shit. But the thing is we want genuine people we can listen to. That's what I listen to. I listen to people I believe to be genuine, that are rational. Like, I am more liberal than conservative, but I enjoy listening to Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro, because when they talk, not only am I entertained, there's always something to listen to, it's also just like, you know what? Like, this person's not talking out of their ass. And I can look past the times that they do, because like a lot of times they'll correct themselves later, because I don't think a person is the sum of their sentence. I think that's the problem with online interaction. A person is not the sum of their interaction. For me, it's when the interaction with because I can't go and study their life. I'm not going to like psychoanalyze everyone that tweets me or messages me or tries to get into a Discord call with me. I'm not going to psychoanalyze them. That's ridiculous. That's insane. That would make me miserable as a person, because like I have to have some level of like relaxation in my life. But it's when there's a pattern. When there's a pattern of disrespect, when there's a pattern of like somebody being condescending or something along those lines. When there's a vibe given off. There's some people, like, they talk to me and I'm just like, they tweet me or something, and I'm just like, this is not a tweet I want to answer. This is clearly bear poking. This is clearly trying to goat me. And if I let them get my goat, I can usually handle it. I'm really good at debating out of my ass. I'm really good at arguing out of my ass, and I'm really good at comebacks sometimes. So like I feel like I can do it, but I could spend all day doing it. It's a completely fruitless exercise, though. I don't know why these are on. I'm not listening to anything, but it's a completely fruitless exercise to just discuss and argue all day. It is a completely fruitless exercise. But the problem is, like, we can't even talk about, like, the election anymore. We can't talk about, like, election day's tomorrow. And because of internet discourse, because of media, because of people, because of certain people, bad apples, I would call them, both professional and unprofessional bad apples, have ruined discourse. We can't talk about the election. We can't talk about consoles. We can't talk about movies. Not without pissing somebody off. You can't talk about it. Like, and the really great example of this is, like, so in the last couple of years, I've been leaning, I feel like a liberal Republican. I'm 22 years old. I have to sort of start finding my footing, because I do not want to be a politically illiterate person. So one of the things that really bothers me is that, like, the right seems to be really interested in, like, saying, oh, well, this other side is snowflakes and babies and sissies and whatever. They've been doing this for, like, the last 5 years. But they do the same things. They have the same response. No, it's not always the same. Like, honestly, there's, like, varying degrees. And everybody gets irritated and gets, you know, saying a negative thing, like saying, like, this bothers me, does not mean you're triggered, right? Like, this does not mean you're triggered because you disagree or you're sharing a strong opinion. This does not mean that you are off the rails, triggered, snowflake material. Okay? But nobody can realize this, because we have to devalue your opinion as fast as possible. Again, racist, SJW. Brainwashed Marxist, brainwashed bigot. Fight. No. It's a bad idea. It's going to destroy the country, because you're going to start just questioning whether or not you can look your neighbor in the eye because of who you voted for. And that's not what this country was founded on. This is not the principles that I grew up with. And it's disappointing. So when you have this problem but you can see the hypocrisy, because the right will be like, oh, you're a bunch of snowflakes, and then something will happen, and the right acts like a bunch of snowflakes by their own definition of what that means. It's not my definition. I don't think a snowflake is somebody who gets irritated. That would make me a snowflake. That would make everybody in this chat irritated. If I came to your house and I put my dirty shoes on something you care about, your favorite couch, your coffee table. I put my muddy shoes on your coffee table and I make a mess. Are you triggered if I've disrespected your house? So there's not, to me, a lot of difference between that and somebody going, I care about X thing. I care about Xbox. I care about, I really like The Last Jedi. And somebody just coming in and going, you know what? Fuck you. And then when you go, hey man, don't say fuck me. Don't say that to me. Like, I like the thing. We're all people here. Well, now you're triggered. I've triggered you. I have successfully bothered you. Hell yeah, you bothered me. When did people forget that humans are irritated? Easily. All the time. Like, we as people, we're just always irritated. There is a little person behind me. What is that? Oh, it's my friend's... Weird. We're always irritated. No, country's not dying. Come on, fuck off. American... Wait, what country are you talking about? I actually don't even know what you're talking about. American politics have become more about owning and offending the other side rather than actually achieving anything or making the country better at all. Exactly, Oni Agent. It's not about reaching a common ground. This is like whenever Uganda, oh god. I'm not versed in Ugandan politics. Boom plays Minecraft. I don't know why I read it that way. Yeah, Panda's sleeping, it probably will. Black Ops 3 will probably do really well. It's just you're not allowed to, because if you share an opinion that's negative, you're triggered. Like, again, like, what did I deal with through the entirety of, like, Battlefield 1 and 5? It was like, I don't like this mechanic. Get good. You're just bad with that mechanic. No, I don't like it. It offends my sensibilities, let's say. It offends my sensibilities. But they don't... But the thing is like, we don't need to worry about the politics. Okay? Like, learn... Okay, I don't mean don't learn about them. Obviously, I think you should learn about the politics in your area. I think politics is a language. It's important, and you shouldn't be completely illiterate on it. You should at least have a source that's unbiased enough, but that fits your world, that fits your views, that you can enjoy and listen to, and get better context for the world around you. I think that's a good idea. And I'm saying that at the very least, you should probably do that. Especially if you're over the age of 18, it's very smart to not just go off of headlines and tweets that you see. Like, it's really good to just actually, like, verse yourself a little bit, because some of the things are actually important. But the idea that, like, we can't talk about things is disturbing to me, because the whole purpose of, like, it's a big part of our humanity is to be able to converse, and it's so hard for these conversations to remain civil, because again, it's like you're attacking something that I like, so you're bad at it, you misunderstand it. That's what, like, dealing in facts when you gotta deal with facts when possible, and be honest when you're being subjective. Like, I don't know, like, I think Dalton, I agree. Yeah, I agree with, like, equal opportunities. I don't think anything should come around and try to force equality, but I do think like equal opportunity is important for everyone. But then there's cultural circumstances and economic things, and there's way outside my pay grade. Way outside my fucking pay grade. But what I'm saying is, we don't need to worry about politics. Like, learning about politics is one thing. You do not need to worry about politicians. Don't stress your day with politicians. Learn about them, hear them, whatever. What we need to focus on, if you want my honest opinion, is you. Like, seriously, look down at yourself right now if you can. Just you. Okay? That's you. You are in charge of everything in this realm, okay? In this realm, you're in charge of everything that comes out of here, and you see and hear and how it bothers you. You are in charge of that, okay? So we take some sort of agency over ourselves. Then you look to your neighbor. And your neighbor isn't the person that lives next to you in your neighborhood. No. You're in here, or in your town or whatever. Or your apartment complex. No. Your neighbor is the person watching your stream. Your neighbor is the person you play with on Xbox. Your neighbor is your family member. Your mother, your father, your sister, your brother. Your neighbor is your wife, your girlfriend. You worry about that first. How are you conversing with them? How are you helping? Do you have fun? Do you have joy? Do you have levity? Can you enjoy other points of view? Do you get excited? Do you get excited when somebody opposes your view? Or do you get automatically offended? I don't. So that's the thing is, I don't get offended if somebody says they don't like Infinite Warfare. Here's a good example for those of you that have watched my channel for a while. If you say, or let's say Modern Warfare, if you say Modern Warfare is the worst COD ever, 0 out of 10, that does not offend me. If you say people that enjoy Modern Warfare are window licking, door camping assholes that never move around, I'm gonna go, all right, I'm getting my notes because I care about the game. I wouldn't run this channel if I didn't care about games. It might be cringy to care about games to some people, but I don't think anyone would subscribe to me if they just didn't give a shit about video games. So it's the difference. I do not like the game. I might ask you why. I might say that's fine. But it's, you're shitty. You're shitty for liking it. Well, that's the thing. It's like, it bothers me when people like roast my game. But, like, context. Like, if Exclusive Ace is saying, I don't like Modern Warfare, I might throw a little, like, meme, like, oh, you don't like Modern Warfare? Oh, boo fucking who? I might make fun of him. Because he's my friend. But there are people that see other people that they do not know talking about a game that they don't like, and they feel they need to go in there and go, knock, knock. Who's there? Your game shit. Your game shit who? I'm going to argue with you for 6 hours on Twitter about door campers. I'm sorry. I'm tired. But, like, best knock-knock joke ever told, I know. So, like, again, if I say I don't like Black Ops 3, that's one thing. That's okay. If I say that Black Ops 3 fans are window-licking idiots, that's another thing. If I say I don't understand how people could like Black Ops 3, again, I don't understand how you like Black Ops 3. Let's just say this. How are you okay with Black Ops 3 as a product? It's like, my hair is a fucking mess because it's so hot in my room and I'm getting all sweaty. It's awful in here. What's that? It's like 74 degrees. I should probably just crack my window open, but I'm being kind of loud, so let's not for now. Oh, wow, my hair almost looks like I have a haircut. That's awkward. So if someone says, I don't understand how you could like Black Ops 3, that's an invitation to let that person know why you do. Whatever the reasons may be. They might be small. I just do. I like it because I played it a lot when it came out. My friends and I have fun on it, okay? No. What was this? So, when it comes... So, if somebody says, if you like Black Ops 3, you're retarded. You're a dummy. You're a dope and a fool and a baboon. Then you can, okay, that's where I think offense can come in. Because, like, okay, like, whether it's your favorite frozen food item, your favorite brand of keyboard and mouse, your favorite soda, only rednecks drink Coke Zero. I'd be like, okay, that's kind of dumb, but it's like people drink, but if you said something more specific, people only drink Coke Zero because they think it's healthy, but they're actually too stupid to realize it's just as bad for them as normal soda. It's like, I'm stupid? No, I like Coke Zero because of the flavor. It's weird. Again, there's this weird nuance for me. If you say everybody who likes Coke Zero is racist, I'm gonna roll my eyes. If you say Coke Zero is for stupid people that think they're drinking healthy drinks, I'm gonna go, nobody thinks this is a health drink. Nobody thinks it's a health drink. So, I don't know. That's the thing. We have no filter, though. It's, I don't like Coke Zero. Why not? What's your problem? Don't like Coke Zero? I'm gonna have to see some ID. Like, it's this, like, how dare you? Like, how dare you dislike my thing? It's sad because we have so much emotional, like stress, seemingly. So much emotionally driven stress caught up in whether or not people are okay with our preferences. And we don't know who these people are. We don't know if they're mentally ill. We don't know if they're disabled. We don't know if they're a troll, literally just trying to get a reaction from you. We don't know. You don't know. How dare you hate High School DxD? That's the thing. I get offended when people are like, "Oh, I never played Kingdom Hearts." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Kingdom Hearts. This one's hard for me, right? Because Kingdom Hearts got me through some shit. Okay, so it got me through. Recently, got me through my dad's death. Before that, it got me through my friends moving away. Before that, it got me through moving to a different state, which was a big problem for me. When I was 8, we moved from Oregon to Idaho, and I was very, very sad. So playing a game about a young boy who leaves his home island to go on an adventure just absolutely carried me away. Like absolutely, it just make me. Like it absolutely made me. Hentai is art. Sorry, hentai is an atrocity. Don't ever look it up ever. So like, it's an important game for me. Some people say it's bad. I like to defend it, but at the same time, I think many things are bad that you probably grew up with. For instance, I think that Half-Life 2 is kind of a boring game. I think I would much rather play Medal of Honor Frontline than Half-Life 2 any day. I'm glad he recovered, man. Good story. Unsubbed, exactly. So when you start realizing that everybody has these like varying things that they care about, these varying things that they care about very deeply, and they're very important to them, and they fill them with joy. I'm sorry, like we have to like boil down our interests here as gamers. Like as gamers, we have to boil down our interests here. These bring us joy. They're not a fun distraction. They're joy. I didn't cry at the end of Spider-Man PS4 because, oh my god, the resolution's just so high. No, it's because I care about these characters and this world. And when I think of Spider-Man, I don't think of Spider-Man on my screen in front of me. I think of Spider-Man. I think of pretending to be Spider-Man when I was 6. I think of buying my first Spider-Man action figure when I was 7. I think of watching Spider-Man 3 with my family. And we went to Hollywood Video. We rented Spider-Man 3. We bought popcorn and candies and things, and we all sat in the living room around our kind of old TV, and we all watched it. Like, that's when I think of Spider-Man, I think of my dad. I think of my grandma. My grandma, when I was younger, found a clipping in the newspaper of Spider-Man during the Macy's Day Parade, and she clipped it out for me because she was like, "You like Spider-Man?" And I was like, "I do. I do like Spider-Man." And that's like that's what these things are to us. Like they're whether you realize it or not, like you have to understand that these things are intrinsic to you. Humans don't have time for things they don't care about. So when we don't care about something, we honestly just don't interact with it. Same Scotty, man. We care about this stuff. We're passionate about it to varying degrees. Like there was so much, there's so much quality in the things we enjoy, in the way that they touch us in our daily lives. They motivate us, they touch us emotionally, they make us think of higher concepts. Like again, like the entirety of like most media is centered around hero stories that predate the Bible. Like, isn't that crazy? Like the same archetypal theme that designs Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope is the same thing that it was the hero story that was written hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years ago. They're archetypal themes that they mean something to us as humans, as genetic humans. Even stupid games, or like I guess you could say like less emotionally impactful games. Move away from that. You might love Rocket League because you and your girlfriend used to play Rocket League. I like Halo 4 a lot because Halo 4 was a game that I bought and got good at because it was the game that the girl that I'm now dating I've been dating her for the last 6 years now. Yeah, 6 years. I've been dating her for over 6 years. Okay, maybe 7. Oh fuck, I don't remember. Anyway, I've been dating her for a long time. I bought Halo 4 to get good at it and play with her. so that I could impress her. So Halo 4 is a big deal for me. Like, it was a huge deal for me at the time. I don't love Halo 4. I love Halo. I do not love Halo 4. I think if you were going to ask me, Boom, what's your favorite Halo game? I don't think the number 4 is going to come out of my mouth. So there. Oh yeah, probably see Oni Agent, when you say stuff like that. Fucking God. Possibly soon, Fortnite gamer. Simping a gamer? Yeah, it did. I was a quality simp. I was an alpha simp. If you simp and it works, and you get to a long-term distance relationship that makes you an alpha simp, and every other simp has to bow down before you, why do you think I get so many donations? I'm gonna fire you. Oh, no, I'm just gonna fire you, dude. Alpha simp, goated. So anyway, I don't know. These things are important to us. And it sucks that, like, Discourse got so bad that, like, I don't want to talk about consoles because somebody's gonna, like, start shit, and they're just gonna try to, like, annoy everybody else in the chat, and they're gonna be super pissy because, like, oh, Ian's defending Xbox. I'm not defending it. It's a company. It's gonna make money whether or not I like it or not. It's like it's more like I'm supporting it. And so, like, but no, that means you hate my console and that you need to be educated as to how cool my console is. No, like, I know how cool your console is. And that's what's really fun, to be able to, like, it's really funny when I see, like, I see Twitter interactions. This guy's like, you know what? Good on Trump for doing this thing. And it's like, you fucking stupid racist pig. I can't believe you support that guy. It's like, oh, I'm a Democrat. I voted for Obama and I'm voting for Biden. But I wanted to say that was a good thing that he did. Shuts everybody up. The best thing you could do to shut up people like this is just have a horse in every race in the best way possible. Man, this is getting heavy. I was expecting a Boom Rage Fest. You gonna marry that lady, King? Probably. Surprise. But either way, there's something. It's the best way to shut people up. If you can appreciate the other side, if you can appreciate a different game, if you can again, Black Ops 3's gunplay kicks Advanced Warfare's ass. And that's why these, like, talking about games and stuff is so important, is because it's the same themes through every topic. That's why I'm talking about politics, video games, movies. It's all the same. It's all the same shit. It's the ability to look past the opposition and see the quality of why they oppose. Because there's a quality there. Unless they're blatantly wrong or promoting Marxism, there's quality there. Aiden Moore, thank you so much for your $4, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Talking to a Schizophrenic and Aiden Moore, for your donations. You guys are awesome. Never you're gonna lose your alpha simp. Oh shit. But no, seriously though. Awesome hat person. I hope your essay does well. And glory to the Hypnotoad. Thank you guys for your donations. You're awesome. So if you were, again, so the reason we debate and the reason we argue and the reason humans are so passionate is because it tests ourselves as well as the person we're arguing. It's okay. So, like, we see these, like, you lose your SIM card when you chase that which does not harm you. There is nothing wrong with falling in love. It's when you don't stop falling after they tell you to fuck off. Then you're a simp. Okay? Like, if we're being real about simping, guys, like, come on. Like, I didn't simp. I approached her, and if she would have said, fuck off, you're ugly, and I hate the way you play Halo 4, I would, okay, and we move on with our dignity intact. Approach women, flirt with them. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of intrinsic love between, like, men and women. There's so much fun play between the two genders. When they talk, when they communicate, they like, both genders add so much to conversations and life. Honest to God, they add so much. if we were just one gender and we could just procreate by thinking about it, it would be a very lifeless society. Honest to God, we need women, we need men, we need women to... Okay, look. Simping is bad when you lose your dignity along the way. You're so tempted. You want to see the titties. You want to have the sex. You want to have the relationship. Maybe you want to white picket fence a dog and 3 kids and the most wholesome life ever, and you don't care if you ever get a nipple picture. That's awesome, dude. But if the person doesn't want that, cut and run. You do not... Again, falling in love is awesome. You don't fall on your face. So keep your dignity. That's how you stop. That's how you stop simping. You just keep your dignity. So one of the things is that, like, really fun example of like what I'm talking about here. A really interesting way to look at it. So like this goes for any trading card game. I'm not trying to like pin it on this brand, but like I've been buying Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and so like one of the reasons we love to debate and we love to argue so much is it's this feeling that we love as people. I think we call it now in gaming, like losers call it theory crafting, when really it's just fiddling until you find something that works. So like with Yu-Gi-Oh, you get these different cards, right? And you'd invest money and time into collecting cards, and then you build a deck that you are excited to face against somebody else. You're excited because you put time into it. You put money and effort, right? You put time and effort into collecting the cards and picking the right ones that have the right synergies, and you want to see if you can win. But the thing is that it's a game. Now, you don't play Yu-Gi-Oh to win. You play Yu-Gi-Oh to play. You want to see if you can play well. And that's why we argue. It's the same thing. We argue because we're researching, we're reading things, whether we're playing, like, okay, when I play Call of Duty Ghosts, and I want to put together a simple video game commentary about whether or not I like Call of Duty Ghosts, right? And I want to discuss that subject matter, I'm building a deck. It's just mentally building a deck. And I want to see how it tests. That's what my channel is about. It's show and tell. Here's my paper mache airplane. Does it look cool? It's one of the reasons YouTubers get kind of like depressed, is because they're constantly, I'm not saying I am, I'm just saying that this is one of the reasons, is that we're looking, it's the human condition of like looking for appreciation and acceptance in all facets. It's looking for appreciation and acceptance in all facets. But when you're creating the content and you're making it, you just hope it does well because you really hope that your deck played out. So that's why it's good to arm yourself. You don't want to be illiterate. When people come to me and they say Modern Warfare is one thing, to me, here's a really good way to... It's actually a really good analogy. I'm very happy I came up with this on the spot, actually. So, like, I feel like when somebody comes to me and they want to talk about video games, and they want to say that Modern Warfare is only camping, it's only dog shit camping, and that's all it is, dog shit camping. This is how big their deck looks to me. Okay, that's the size of their deck. Okay, it's about, they have a couple cards. So it's like, door camper, camper, just in general, objective campers, which are non-existent, because that's just called defending your objective, but don't question me because I'm smart. And they have very little, So then you get somebody that plays the game a lot, and they research things a lot, and they're obsessively interested. And oh god, this is gonna be so cringy, but like they come to the conversation with this, and they're like, oh yeah, well, about door camping, you're only gonna see that in this game mode. And when it comes to and you just go back and forth. Now, none of this is to say that the person with this deck is right, and the person with the smaller deck is automatically wrong because he has less information. You can go into arguments with a sense of confidence that you are inherently right, in the sense that you are going to prefer what you prefer by the end of the conversation. I can paint a picture of how cool a video game is, or how cool a presidential candidate is. or how cool a certain YouTuber is. Like I could talk about how awesome and why, you know, how cool Ben Shapiro is. But if you don't like him, I'm not going to change your mind. All you can do is go into these conversations assuming that the person you're talking to knows something that you don't. The moment you downplay their intelligence to yourself, the moment you humor them as if they're lesser, you're not building your deck. You're not creating a file folder that's going to help you long-term, you know, your long-term life. You know. So that's why I think I get very frustrated with dumb arguments. When I see a comment that says, "Of course someone as ugly as you doesn't like Battlefield 1. Battlefield's a man's game and you're clearly a soy boy." Yeah, okay. Neat. Frustrating. You know, I did show and tell, and somebody pissed. It's essentially somebody pissing on the show and tell, like devaluing it based on my appearance or my skill level. It's like, damn, you know, like, shit. Oh, good night, man. I'm a hamster without his wheel. Yeah, it's frustrating because like you want a little bit of an argument. You don't mind people disagreeing with you. Like I think it's just that the way they do that. So again, like we do not. So like here's like a hot political take. We do not live in a systemically racist or sexist country because again, so many people they're offended by that concept. They're offended by the concept of that. You know, because it's like again, it's like I want the world to be better. I want the world to be inclusive. I want the world to have equal rights, but I don't want to be told that I'm contributing to the problem because I don't think the way you do. That pisses people off. So it's like again, so like, and we see this again in gaming. I was told that people like me hurt the COD. I hurt the COD community. I got a lot of that. That I hurt the COD community. I get that often. I don't want no. You can disagree with my opinions. You can disagree with my mind. You can disagree with maybe the way. You can even disagree with the way that I display my opinions. You could say you're being brash. You're being rude. I don't want to talk to you. You're a dirty boy. You're a dirty boy, and I don't like you. It's fine. You can do that. Very, very bad. I'm awesome. I'm awesome at being shitty. Cool. But you're just gonna act like everything's because of me. And then there's the problem where people believe that they have no impact. People that have millions of subscribers when they were spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on supply drops, as if they don't have any higher standard to come up to. They don't have an impressionable fan base. That they don't have, that their money for some reason just doesn't count because hey, it's my money. No, it counts, and you're putting money into a system that's actually bad. It's just genuinely bad. So it doesn't keep me up at night if Prestige. People got really pissed off when Prestigious Key would buy supply drops. People got very mad because like you stop supporting the system. You're a big guy in the community, and you really need to not support the system. I didn't really care, but like it was what bothered me was him going, doesn't matter. It's my money. I can do what I want with it. It's like wrong response. Correct. You can do whatever you want with your money, but don't dismiss the criticism because it's your money. My hands, I can slap a bitch. No, like what? It means that people look up to you. So it's hard because but the thing is that does that mean Prestigious Key caused the issue? No, people were saying that he caused the issue. People were saying that Prestigious Key was causing the issue, that people like him were causing the issue. Yes, people that buy a lot of supply drops are not helping the issue, but targeting Prestige and being like, oh, you're the reason. It's you, and people like you. It's people like you, people that look like you, and people that enjoy the same Lunchables that you do. Like that's the reason. Like no, but again, those topics are so complicated, but they're dealt with zero nuance because like it's also like the system goes away when it stops making money, or it starts pissing people off, and luckily those microtransactions are gone now. So did Prestige buying them really hurt anything? I don't think it was smart. I don't think it was good to publicize that he was, because he wasn't even making a video about it. He just literally tweeted like, I spent a shit ton of money on supply drops to get the new Black Ops 3 gun. I'm just like, zip it. Don't encourage it. Because that was people saying, like, don't encourage it. Again, it's hard. It's hard. Like, how do you discuss this while not demonizing somebody? How do you discuss it in a way that talks about the broader points of impressionable fan bases and being sort of a face for a community? Like, how do you talk about stuff like that? It's difficult because, again, it's not, Ryan's not evil for doing it, but, you know, in fact, nobody's evil for buying microtransactions in a video game. But I don't know. It really does suck. Because nobody's willing, because the thing is when I get stumped with like a topic where it's like, is or isn't, could this have been handled better? Could somebody have made a better decision? Could this have been said instead of this? And I get hung up on it. But the thing is I feel like people don't get hung up on it. It's okay to be stumped. I think that's how I'm going to end this podcast. It's okay to be stumped by an idea. It is okay to be told. It's okay to tell yourself and to say to other people, you know what? I don't know. I don't know where I stand on this. It's complicated. I wish this was being handled differently, but is that possible? Is it necessary? It's hard. So if there's ever a subject that you feel that feeling of like, really listen to yourself. Like, do I have the ammo here? Do I have the deck for this conversation, for this topic? Do I really know how I feel about it? If not, then don't just go sticking your hands in hornets' nests. If you want to interact with things you don't understand, it's really good to ask questions. And I think I exhibited that tonight. I didn't know what else to say about the console war situation. So I took it over, exactly, JCS. I took it over to questions. I wanted to hear what you guys wanted to say so that I can just react to your guys' thoughts instead of sort of spinning my wheels where I sort of forget what I'm going to say, because otherwise you just look stupid and you waste people's time. Thank you, Scotty, man. I'll be your dad for $5 a day. I don't know what that means, Canal. But anyway. It snows where I live. It does snow where I live. So, yeah, the FTC did have I think it did have a bit of a fit on that. So, yeah, it's complicated. So, internet discourse was actually apparently the thing I had the most to say about. Again, the demonizing and the conspiracies and the demonizing, it's really unnecessary and it really doesn't help anyone. It all hurts. It just all hurts. It just hurts. So, next Boomcast will likely be tomorrow because I will not be having a video for tomorrow because I have to get up early and I'm going to go vote. Thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream. I want to do a quick donation rundown, but I really have to pee, so this is going to be fast as shit. Thank you guys for supporting the Boomcast. Aiden Moore, Talking to a Schizophrenic, Oni Agent, Scotty Man, Cormit the Frog, ATG, It's Me Poise Killer, David Cooper, and Dalbert Tran. Thank you so much for the donations. I honestly love you guys. Thank you for supporting this style of content. Yeah, I might get a co-host, Jason. I might need you. What time? Hopefully mid-afternoon. Something like 5 or 6, not midnight. So anyway, thank you guys so much for coming out. I will see you when I see you. I really have to piss. So, thank you guys so much.